welcome, welcome. I am done teaching classes. So we're on winter break technically. We are going to be at a conference the next 3 days though. So I still have stuff to do.
I'm a little out of
How's everyone doing today?
Any conflicts? I'm in the mood
Alright,
for some
Space Cadet,
peacemaking.
welcome in. Congrats on first, enjoy the points. Kaizen, welcome, welcome. How is everyone doing today? I did my ZZZ dailies already. Studying for finals. How many you got left? Do my dailies. Just gonna do dolly polls off stream. Were you planning on streaming them, or were you just gonna? Ooh, Spiral Abyss. Forgot that was today.
Ad Astra Abyssosk. Welcome to the Adventurers Guild.
The frick was that? Let's see. I have bio, global issues, and band, and math, and that's it. Okay.
Thank you for
So just
completing
a few
today's
more.
commissions. Here is your reward.
That sounds like an easy week. Not feeling great. It would be like a 10-minute stream since I'm on guarantee. Okay. Not worth coming back from hiatus just for this. Okay. Band is easy though. I mean, do you know what your final is? Bio is too. Doodles. My dad's trying to find a Christmas movie. Who wasn't paying attention to the ratings. What'd you end up watching? From an R-rated movie? What'd you end up watching? What'd you end up watching? Was it a good Christmas movie? Just terms for band. See, when I was in high school, our band director gave us a word search, and then he collected them all and just stuffed them in a drawer somewhere. Didn't even look at them. That was easy because I love science.
When you
And
lose
gold
your
issues,
way,
I can use a
gaining
note
some
card.
altitude can bring some perspective.
8 Crazy Nights? Okay, I'm not familiar with that one. Should I watch a Christmas movie this week, guys? Maybe I'll watch Die Hard. Oh, I have to click the expedition
Ad
award.
Astra.
Dispatch. We'll do Spiral Abyss. Wait, Base, have you unlocked Spiral Abyss yet? You can get a lot of Prima gems from that. No, it was live on, I'm guessing that's Pluto. And we watched it for 1 minute and 30 seconds, and this guy just got on the table and started saying some very not TOS friendly stuff.
This
And was your
realm
dad
is
like, oh,
truly
we're not
beginning
watching
to-
this? Alright. Kirara's at level 7 now, friendship. Let's get this thing. And that's it for now.
If you ever have it,
Probably actually like do something with my teapot at some point. No, I don't want to delete all the mail. So we're gonna go to Mondstadt and do Spiral Abyss stuff. Can I name this reef? Like rename this reef to something else. Do you hear that clarinet solo? Bet it could be learned. It's a low enough solo. It's in the shallow register, but you can play that on a bass clarinet. Should I? Yeah. Bet you could do that on that base credit. You should come to my recital. When is it?
Take me up.
All right, we're gonna do Spiral Abyss. But yeah, I don't know if you've unlocked this yet. You can get a lot of Prima Gems from this thing. And you get it, it's like whatever is it 60 days it resets? I forget. Claim rewards. Let's go. Oh, 30 days. Okay. 31 days. I know, but also I'm gonna do a solo on 10 or 2. Oh, nice. For the recital? Claim rewards. So we don't have to do level 9. So yeah, if you do these, yeah, you get 300 Prima Gems per level, and there's 8 regular levels. That's like 15 pulls, right? 15? I think it's 15 pulls. So you do all these, you get 300 Prima Gems each, and then you get unlock the actual Spiral Abyss here, and then this resets every like 30 days. Do one base credit, a base coronet, a coronet soul, and a tenor stack soul. Okay, okay. All right, and all this is like every 30 days or so, you just do a couple battles, and just beat it in time without anyone dying, and then you get some rewards like Prima Gems. Do we think I get Dahlia super early? How much pity do you have already? You have like no pity? But you said you're guaranteed, right? Lunar reaction. I mean, it's level 10, so it should be fine, but I don't have a lot of not try characters. Like 2? Okay. I think you get them relatively early. Maybe not like 10 or 20, but I think you get them early. I'm gonna say 40. All right. Let's see. Which team do I want to wear? I wish that you could do the thing like in Starro where you could just choose a preset team. Actually, can you? Hold on. No available characters in here. What? Oh, there it is. Preset teams. Never mind. It's a thing. And then let's see. Because I'll have somewhere between 30 to 40 polls. Okay. I think you'll get them by 40. All right, level 10. Let's see how we do. Anyone also pulling for Dahlia? I would like to. I don't have the polls right now.
Let's fly.
Oops, didn't mean to do that.
Emerge right here, right now. Let my name echo in song. Nothing lasts forever. Right here, emerge. Hold that pose.
Miss me. Oh. Let's see. I'd like to not spend money. That's always a plus. So confused how to do this math problem. Can't help you with your homework.
I'm going in. Get to work.
Try and stop me! Light up the blazing sun!
Past pages. I keep reading that as Ema.
Right here.
Here comes another.
Shower me with smile. Take me up.
So confused if I ask. I'll ask my teacher if she can help me tomorrow after school. This is my math finals on Thursday. Oh, that was quick.
Burn it down.
Bring it. Fulfill our pact. Get to work. Suffer the wrath of
Red from the sky. Rise with the sun.
35 pulls at the moment. Okay. I think I'm leaning towards the yes, you get them. We don't want to use Google. Yeah, I never use Google. I use Google not or anything. I remember when Google started. Back then, our search engines of choice: Yahoo, Alta Vista, Excite, Ask Jeeves. I wonder what Jeeves is up to these days.
I'm gonna fix
right
your
now.
skull.
Strike a pose. Let's fly.
Open fire.
Bullseye.
Your mom uses Yahoo? I remember those days.
Everybody stand. Show no mercy. Eat lolling. Eat papa.
Light of the blazing sun.
Probably didn't even need to use my ult there. I would have won. All right, we finished floor 10. See how easy that was? Just do a few battles. You'll end up getting some prima gems out of it. Let's keep the same teams here. Actually, let's switch them. 60% pyro damage for. Wait. Hold on. Is this for? Is this for the entire floor, or is the first one get pyro damage bonus and the second one get electro? I'm confused. Hold on. Wait, that's not what I wanted to do. Go back in. Yahoo! Claim rewards. So we just got 200 prima gems. See how easy that was? Alright, so this one. All party members get a 60% pyro damage bonus. All party members get a 60% electro damage bonus. Is it both? So I can just keep the same order? Reset teams. I looked in my accordion folder. Accordion folder? Oh, like a folder that accordions. Not like your folder for accordion. Found an old worksheet from that unit. Use all pulls and the ones I could get from pulls back. No Dahlia. Okay. I think you're close, though. I think you're close. Oop. Oh, sorry. That's wrong. It's wrong Discord. I thought someone was posting in the Discord. All right. Here we go. Start. I usually use Malika for the second one because there's fewer enemies, but they're usually like tankier enemies. So understand now. You know what math thing that's like super easy that I missed when they taught it in class, and to this day I can never remember how to do them unless I like give myself a quick refresher. Like everything else stuck with me, but like I missed the one day. I was excused because like, it was an excused absence because I had like a band thing or something like that. But I missed the day that they learned about matrices in class, and then eventually I learned it, and I was fine with it. Like in the future, as long as I did a quick refresher, like including for like mathletes competitions. I was like, how do I do this again? Like someone explain this to me. But then yeah, every time like after I didn't do anything with matrices for a while, I would have to go back and be like, wait, how do I do this again? I just forgot. Just drop $100. Can you like not drop as much? That's a lot. Oh, it's a defense thing. Oh, I hate these.
Emerge. Right now. Emerge. A sight to behold. Right now. Right here. Right now. Yoo-hoo!
Hydra's not gonna do anything.
Hold that pose. Ha! emerge right here. Shower me with praise. Let the world come up. Say cheese. Breaking new.
Take me up. Locked on. Locked on.
Well, the monolith's holding up pretty well, but
Right now. Emerge. Nothing lasts forever. Right here. Right now. Strike a pose. Time to shine. Smile.
Let's fly. Locked on.
Right here. Emerge. Shower me with praise. Let the world come alive. Hard hitting it.
alright, there's probably got. Oh, I thought it was gonna be like one last big guy. I was just so confused for like the inequality parts. I only know how to write interval notation. So what are they? Wait. So what are they trying to ask you to write something else? $50 will only get me 24 pulls, but I guess I can try. Oh, hold on. I'm not saying go with that. Like, what are the options then? What does $100 get you? Because like, get your money's worth. Like, if you're gonna be spending in the future.
It's my lucky day.
Burn it down.
Bring it.
Teamwork is dreamwork. Fulfill our pact. Get to work. Suffer the wrath.
Let's get down to business.
I'm beating everyone too fast.
It's my lucky day.
Oh, okay then. Very diff. Oh, all right. How much is it? But how does it? Let's see, 100 gets you 50. No. Okay, so that's yeah. Then I would do it in intervals of like 50. If it was like, 50 gets you 24, but then 100 gets you like 65 or something, then I feel like that's a clear choice. Or 67.
Right now.
Oh, these guys,
Emerge.
huh?
Right here. Yoo-hoo!
Hold that pose. Take me up. Bullseye.
Oh, finally paper. I actually did, thank God. It explains it to me.
Locked on. Bullseye.
Right now. Emerge. Right here.
Good thing you're studying.
A sight to behold. Right now. Emerge. Right now. Shower me with praise. Let my name echo in song. Say cheese. Truth.
Let's fly.
You
Open fire.
barely beat any.
Show them. Right here. Right now.
Hard hitting it. Bullseye.
207 per ticket.
Open fire.
198.
Open fire.
Okay.
Right here.
So for most small amounts, it's gonna be negligible.
Strike a pose.
Hold that pose.
On the other side. The other side. The other side of me.
Rise with the.
Everybody stand back.
Fulfill our pact. Not you two. Time. Incinerate. Pyroclastic surge.
See, I can always get through like floors 10 and 11, no problem. It's floor 12 that I can almost never get anything. 69 and no Dahlia? Alright, this is an expensive guarantee here.
Right now. Emerge. Shower me with praise. Time to shine. Smile. Truth bomb. Come on out. I'm always watching. Right now. Right here.
Let's fly. Bullseye.
Well, now I'll probably just do some work in in-game modes for the rest. Yeah, because like at this point, you're like less than 10 away, most likely. Like, let's be honest, you're less than 10 away,
Here.
probably.
Emerge. Yoo-hoo! In some.
Bullseye.
Where are you?
Where are you?
Locked on.
I forgot what song that is. but it's from my time. I guess ever since like a few days ago when we were literally talking about what's that one song? At Your Funeral by Saves the Day, I've been like binge listening to like 2000s pop punk and 2000s emo rock as well. When I was a young boy, my father took me into the city. Let's see. All field characters gain a 75% pyro damage bonus. Okay. Punching attack damage increased by 75%. I don't really have plunging characters, but the pyro team is going on first. So let's switch. Can I switch? How do I switch? Can I just switch? No? What? Preset teams. Preset teams. Gonna be back in 20. I'm gonna listen to music and finish as much as I can. And I'm gonna review for global issues in biology. Okay. You gonna listen to the songs I just sang? Or did that scare you guys off? Alright, let's see how we do. Floor 12. This never goes well, but we'll give it a shot.
Going in. Suffer the wrath of Eastland. Pyroclastic surge.
To beat 41 enemies, though.
Incinerate. Rev the engine. Teamwork is dreamwork. Get to work. Fulfill our pact. See, Laline, it's wrath from the sky. Light it up. Bring it. I'm going in. Get to work. Suffer the wrath of Eastland. Pyroclastic surge.
Alright, that wasn't too bad. This is 12-1. I don't have any plunging characters here, so this will be interesting.
Here.
2 enemies.
Let my name echo. Nothing lasts forever. Emerge.
Oh, it's this guy?
Say
God.
cheese.
Breaking new. Take me up. Locked on. Locked on. Open fire.
Right here. Emerge. Yoo-hoo! Hold that pose.
Do you think it's safe for me to play the new story without finishing Emporius? Like 3.8? You're probably fine because it's in a different area. It's in Penacony, I think.
Right here.
I don't think it has anything to do with Emporius.
Show them.
I would assume so, but I don't know because I haven't tried 3.8 yet.
Smile.
Open fire.
That was only the first one? Oh my god, this is gonna take forever, chat. We're not gonna get this. We're not gonna get the last star, but let's see if we can maybe get the other one.
Hold that pose.
Probably not. I assume, yeah. Without having played it myself, I'm not gonna be able to play it until Sunday. Saturday we're doing the surprise thing that we just unlocked, so apparently,
Emerge. Right here.
that I didn't know about.
I'm always watching. Emerge. Right now.
Yeah, unless I beat this guy in the next 20 seconds,
Smile.
it's not happening.
Hard hitting it.
Hungry for Penacony content?
Locked on. Open fire.
I mean, I don't know if some of the dialogue with your like crewmates and stuff like that might spoil something, but
Strike a pose.
yeah, we lost the last star there. That's okay. That's okay. Let's see if we can get at least 2 for now. Boom.
Locked on.
It's so close though.
Using
Burn it
force
down.
authorized.
Change of plan.
My ult's not charged. No.
Everybody
There we
stand
go.
back. Show no mercy. Lolling, eat Papa.
Your son.
Light of the blazing sun.
Let me try my
Incinerate. Teamwork is dreamwork. Let's light it up. Get to work. Suffer the wrath of Eatfleet. Pyroclastic surge.
That wasn't too bad. Let's try the second one here.
Right now, right here.
Oh
right
no, it's
now.
this guy and I'm using a Hydro character.
Hold that pose. I'm getting it. Ha! Locked on. Bullseye.
At that point I might as well just keep Farina on healing mode, right?
Locked on.
Right here, right
No.
now. Strike a pose. Ah.
Take me up.
Actually no, hold on. I want the buffs.
Let the world come alive. Say cheese.
Ugh. Let's fly.
My camera. Ow.
Open fire. Bullseye.
Emerge, right here. Smile.
Hard hitting it. Ha!
This is only the first one too. I'm not gonna beat this in time.
Locked on.
Sparkle, welcome in. How are you today?
Nothing lasts forever.
I saw your art share. We're doing some Spiral Abyss at the moment. Not very well. We're on floor 12.
Take me up. Locked on. Locked on.
You know, I need to start planning because it's like I think we're a week away. I need to start planning for like a Varesa team. Like, what would that look like?
Oh, brilliant!
Here's another one. We're not gonna be able to get 3 stars in this either. We'll get maybe 2 stars at most. Should be sleeping and studying for my finals. Our stream today, guys, is probably not gonna be super long because I actually do want to wake up earlier than normal tomorrow. Even though I don't have to go into work tomorrow, I'm probably gonna swing by and just like
Emerge, right here.
be nice and give them like some donuts.
Time to shine.
Yeah, I'll be like, I'm sorry, you have to fix your own computers for 3 days.
Open fire. Locked on.
Oh, I should make like a little card like Happy Holidays, guys. If you need me while I'm not here, first try turning it off and then on again.
Say cheese.
Take me up. Open fire. Open fire. Open fire.
Right here.
So 300 seconds is 500 minutes. Let's see if we can at least get that one.
The show begins. Hold that pose. Emerge.
Said I'm laying in bed playing Star Rail and eating candy. Oh, you shouldn't be eating before bed. I made that mistake yesterday. I was like, all right, it's 12:10, but I'm very hungry.
Right here.
Breaking news. Let's fly. Open fire.
Oh, we got him.
Locked on.
There we go. So we got 2 stars out of it.
Rise with the sun.
Oh, big guy. Very big guy. Oh, new enemy guy. Is this a spoiler for something?
Time to end them. Show no light of the blazing sun.
Titan said she works in Overload. Oh, for Varesa, but I think she works on other team comps. I guess that makes sense that they would because, like, obviously, like we initially thought that they would run alongside Durin, who's Pyro.
Incinerate.
So I guess that makes sense. I'm sure they work on. There are other ones that they can work on too.
Gonna hurt in the more. Fulfill our pact. Eat lolling. Eat Papa.
What do you usually use on your team?
Surge.
Press is much better on overall because you can do other comps.
Incinerate! Let's light it up! Letting brave names echo! Huh? Teamwork is dreamwork! Get to work! Sha! Sha! Yeah! Ha! Sha! Eat Laline! Eat Papa! Light of the blazing sun! Incinerate!
Got him. Overload isn't ready yet. Or Overload team, so use Quicken and Aggravate. What's Quicken again? Is that Pyro Dendro? Wait, what's Quicken? And what's Aggravate? You guys can see I don't use a lot of team comps here. I also think I think I also just want to do story before TikTok and stuff spoils it for me. What about Amphorius? It's mostly because on Overload team she has such great support options. That makes sense. Because a lot of like Pyro characters. Oh, Dendro Electro. Okay. So Dendro Electro is Quicken. And what's Aggravate? Because that's what happened with the 3.8 story. Wait, this is 3.8. Will, welcome in. Also, Will. It's been either we haven't seen you in a bit or we keep forgetting. Not last week, but the week before, you actually had the clip with the most views, so you actually get gifted a sub. So, ta-da! You did? Yeah, you had the clip with the most views 2 weeks ago. So you get gifted a sub. Yay!
Zappy!
Taniki TV gifted a tier 1 sub to Wills86.
Enjoy. Let's see. 3.7. Okay, I'm just so tired. Dendro Electro? Wait. No more pink loading screen. Oh no! Well, I guess we recorded, so it should be fine, but
I'm a little out of practice these days.
I'm gonna miss the pink loading screen, guys.
Any conflicts around? I'm in the mood for some.
Emerge, right now.
Is this a new enemy too? No, we've seen this one.
A sight to behold. Emerge.
There you go. Will's got the emotes now, guys. Oh, I hate
Let my
this.
name echo in song.
Oh, this is awful, chat. What was I supposed to have?
Open fire!
Electro, right? I thought they said.
Right here, right now. Come on out. Hard-hitting exclusive. Right here, right now.
Let's fly!
This is awful. I'm not putting a dent in this guy at all.
Bullseye!
We'll beat him, but we might not have any stars
Open
left.
fire.
Emerge.
Jump. Jump. Jump.
Time to shine.
Take me up! Open fire!
There's a main quest, but I can do it without finishing Forest. Right. My understanding.
Bullseye!
Alright, we need to switch to healing because
Open fire!
I'm gonna die.
Show them. Right here. Emerge. Hold that pose.
Come on, come on, come on. Charge it up.
Breaking news! Let's fly! Open fire! Locked on!
Right now. Showering you with
Oop,
praise.
move.
Let the world come alive.
Open fire!
Oh, me target. No, 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 no. Get out, get out, get out. Get out.
Come on
Switch
out.
over.
Right here, right now. I'm always watching. Strike a pose.
Leave me alone.
Open
I
fire!
don't think we're gonna beat this guy. We've used up 4 minutes. We've maybe done like a third damage.
Open fire!
Emerge. Right now. May I present? Smile.
Let's fly. Bullseye.
Paul and Dahlia, wish me luck. By the way, apparently high seasons can now be played without
Right here.
Kafka. If you have E2 Cyrene, I'm tempted to try it. I don't have E2 Cyrene. I'm crying right now. I'm so proud of myself. I didn't touch Google at all. See, that wasn't even an option when I was a kid. Look at the answer key to make sure.
Emerge.
The first 2 pages. Oh, you gotta pay attention here.
Time to shine. Yoo-hoo!
Let's run. Locked on.
Okay, maybe I can finish it.
Bullseye. Open fire.
Right here.
Figure out what they
right
wanted
now.
you to use on this guy.
Locked on. Locked on. Bullseye.
Right here. Emerge.
Take me up. Open fire. Open fire. Open fire. Bullseye.
Right here. Nothing lasts forever. Emerge. Right now. Strike a pose. Let the world come out. Hard hitting.
I think I should do Spiral. Yeah, it reset, so get those Prima Gems. You got 1 week left till the current banners end.
Show them. Right here. Yoo-hoo!
Let's fly. Locked on.
I'm like really trying. I really want to pass the course. I think you'll be fine. You're doing. It sounds like you're doing really well.
Right here. Showering you with praise. Time to shine.
Take me up. Open
Pretty
fire.
pity. Here we go. Let's go. Got her on the last pull. 77. Yeah, because I figured you were probably the last. Oh no no no! No! We're not gonna make it. We're not gonna make it. I don't have enough firepower anymore. Let's just quit. All right. Leave for now. Let's just collect for now, and then I'll try and redo floor 12 later on. So give me my rewards. Claim. So 200 there. 50 there. Yeah, we would need 6 to get another 50. That's 222. 53 as of right now. Okay, yeah, it took Kaizen a lot too. Are you on a guarantee or no? No, I need to figure out if her Lycone is a must-have. Wait, what is this happening? The IHSA expands state football playoffs by 128 teams. So now the start of the season is 1 week earlier, so that they can squeeze in another round of playoffs. So the football season will start a week earlier, and any football team with 3 wins will almost certainly make the playoffs. And almost half of the teams that only had 2 wins this past season, they were 2-7. Nearly half of them would have also reached the playoffs. What is? No. No. Alright, well. You figure out if her lichens must have. No, I use my guarantee on Treeby. Okay, so you have a 50-50. Point her for Boot Hill. She's no use to me right now. Gotcha. So like kind of like how I'm pulling a or I was pulling a Scoffier for the Saritsa previously. But then we were like, oh, they'll probably get a rerun before then, so we didn't worry too much. But then we got Skirk, and then I was like, oh, shoot. Let me see how many pulls I have at the moment. We're gonna still do a couple other errands before starting Durin's quest. Although we probably are not going super late tonight, so 10:30 is probably like my cutoff. Where's my list? Two plus 20. 21, so 43. 255. Alright. We gained 5 pulls today already, and that's before even doing during story quest. We're still below trend line about by 8. Navia Phase 2 next update. I don't know about that. We know Ziba is Phase 2, Combine is Phase 1. I don't know. I don't think they, but I might be wrong. I don't know if they would put 2 Geos in the same phase. But that's just me. I don't know. When was Navia's last run? Are they due? Or do we think they would show up on a Chronicle Wish? Your starting story. Wait, did you get Dahlia? Let's see, Navia. Navia last ran in 5.6, so it was May 6th. And they last ran alongside a Scoffier. So I guess as far as like reruns go, they are due, but I don't know. Since they're from Fontaine already, they might just wait till a Chronicle Wish. Or not, because, like, I don't know. Again, I'm not sure they would put 2 Geos on the same phase, but I don't know. Wait, do I have any standard pulls? Chat, I have 1 standard pull, and I'm pretty sure we have high pity. What's our pity? We have 67 pity. Alright, chat. Wish me luck. We're at 67 pity. All the kids' favorite number. I think it's a little dated, but okay. Chat, wish me luck. 1 pull. 1 pull. Hoping for Kutching C4. I don't know. Alright, here we go. 1 single pull. That's all it took for Cyrene yesterday. Alright, here we go. Nothing. Alright, 68 pity. Is it 68 pity? I should probably double check. Let me see. History. So this should show 67 worth because obviously it takes some time to refresh. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 60. So it's 70? I must have missed some. We're at 74 pity? Yeah, musically was my last one. Wait. We're at 74 pity? Well, that last one then was my 75th then, right? Unless this somehow updated already. I doubt that. 12-9. Yeah. Well, I must have missed some because now we're at 75 pity. Depends on what type of geo unit Z-Buy is. I mean, I guess that's true. Yeah, I guess Navi is possible, but I wouldn't bet on it myself, but I guess they're possible, yeah. Yeah, we're at 75 pity. Alright, Mizuki was my last standard, yeah. That is accurate. How am I, like, off by 7? Jeez, I must have missed a lot there. We're at 75 pity on standard, guys. So we're getting a standard soon. I'm hoping it's catching C4. All right. Any other orders of business here before we do? Yes. Yeah, we forgot. Stygian. So we did Spiral Abyss. We're gonna do Stygian, and then we'll start Durin's story. Just FYI. I think we're almost at 1200.
Burn it down. Fulfill our pact. Pyroclastic surge.
I gotta wait.
Bring it.
Chiori. Oh yeah, I always forget about Chiori. I don't know if she's had as many reruns, so she could actually be possible. Bum, bum.
Show no mercy. Light of the blazing sun.
Wasn't there a reason at one point we were considering Shiori for my roster? I can't remember who, what team it was for or why, but there was one point. Was it as support for Navia because we need 2 Geo? I can't remember. Double crit. Dire accommodation target reached. Let's go. Was Chiori on Inazuma Chronicle? Oh, is she from Inazuma? You might be right. Consider Inazuma, and as such, probably doesn't run. So I guess then she could be. I mean, she probably doesn't run, but remember, Shenhe was on the Leeway Chronicle Wish, and then eventually she came back on Unlimited Banner. So it's possible, but less likely. And yeah, for a while, C1 Chiori was a goal for Navia. Got it. Pre-Shalonen. Yeah, because I remember we were talking about like maybe getting her for my team or for my account at one point. Dust of Enlightenment. I forgot what these do, but I have 12 of them. Power of Artifacts. Okay, so it's artifact stuff. Alright, make a total of 50 wishes. Yeah, we're going to be pulling for Varessa. So we just need another 37. Complete Act 8. I've never done that. Of Imaginary Theater. I can't believe we're at 75 pity on the standard. I was off by 7. I thought I kept track of it pretty well, but I guess I must have missed a bunch. Oh, you know what we should also plan? By the way, we're going to do Durin's story quest next, but let me figure out calendar, because I know some of you guys are probably going to lurk for Durin's story quest. We should plan when we're going to do the official story thing. Let's see. Tuesday we're pulling for Varessa. Let's see. It's gotta be this weekend or after. We're doing basically Star Rail all weekend. It looks like the surprise side quest and then Trailblaze quest on Sunday. Pokemon. It looks like we're gonna try to finish Pokemon on Monday. We'll do Pokemon tomorrow and Monday. And then pulling for Varessa on Tuesday. I guess Tuesday we can just like do a longer Genshin stream, do the official stuff, as well as the Varessa pulls. So then I can do officials like side quests
Traveling to
as
other
well.
worlds is all that anyone seems to be writing
She only
about
had
these
one
days.
rerun. It was Tossed in the Chronicle Wish.
Goodness
Yeah,
knows
that's
what they
because
find so disappointing about their
when
own
they first came out with
world.
the Mondstadt one, I think they had a requirement that they had to have 3 reruns already and haven't had run in a while. Or was it 3 or 2? I think it was 3. 3 reruns and they hadn't run in a while. But obviously once they got to the newer ones like Liyue and then Inazuma and then Sumeru, obviously those are newer regions and they probably wouldn't have they are less likely to have had as many reruns. So I think they kind of relaxed that requirement. So the fact that she only had basically 2 runs, her debut and then her 1 rerun, and then being put on Chronicle Wish was, yeah. It obviously doesn't fit the original rules, but that was just the nature of it. Like, if they give us a Fontaine Chronicle Wish this year, or within a year, I think they will. I don't know if they'll be during Nightcry or Shania, but I think they are going to give us one within the year. Could be soon, could be later, but I think it's within a year, definitely. But then after that, like, what's next? Natland. And that's, like, very recent, so... But when you get into, like, those power tiers that Kaizen mentioned... Then you have to ask yourself, like,
Most
okay,
humans could
well,
have the
maybe
entirety
they
of their
hold off
fleeting
on those
lives
for a little bit. I don't
chronicled in
know.
But a few short lines. Their stories really make for terribly dull reading.
Just being weird. All right, so yeah, maybe Tuesday, in addition to the Vespals, official, not Fisher, official, video, and official, what do we call it? Homework, or something. Still don't know what we're doing Christmas Eve, but I know she's Fontanian, but still. Or not Fontaine, right, yeah. Yeah, she just, I mean, she visited Fontaine, she opened up a shop there, but she's originally from,
Traveling to other worlds is all that anyone seems
Inazuma.
to be writing about these days. Goodness knows.
Speaking of
what they
Inazuma, there's
find-
one thing I want to check before we do during Story Quest, so bear with me, chat. Hello, anyone in here? Achievement complete. Paimon wonders what it's here for. What's this doing here? Who could have put it in there? Huh? It sounds like someone's coming. Quick, we gotta hide. Where? Oh, so the stuff's finally arrived. Took them long enough. Who's Harrison? Ah, this box is broken on one side too. Come on, I told him to be careful. Let's just hope nothing inside is broken. Phew, looks like none of the bottles broke. Eh, why is this bottle cap loose? You have to unscrew it first before installing it. Come on. These alcohol-making ingredients have too strong a flavor. Let's smooth them out first. Eh, what are all these slimes doing here? Oh wait, that's Harrison. Looks like he's been surrounded by slimes. Oh, less talking, more helping. Oh, so we know Harrison?
Open fire.
Okay, but it looks like that's gonna start a quest, so we might, oh, you know, whatever. Thank you, Traveler. Thank you so much for your help. If not for you, this place would have been my grave today. You set this camp up? What are you up to here? Ah, I'm moving goods. Moving goods. I mean, you know that doing business here is hard here on Rito. The camp is, well, you can consider it a little trick of mine. Some days back, I commissioned a friend to ship me some alcohol-making ingredients from Mondstadt. He then got a test batch of new product from the Dawn Winery, which was just shipped here. But he hasn't been all that careful, so some of the boxes are broken, and the cap on the bottle of alcohol-making ingredients was loosened. Decided to unscrew it so that I could then reinstall it. But I never expected a whole bunch of slimes would come jumping out of the unscrewed cap. What a strange occurrence. Brewing ingredients from the Dawn Winery, huh? It doesn't matter right now. As for the ingredients, I'll settle with that fellow next time he comes by. You saved my life, and I owe you something for it. Take these first, then. That aside, you see the small boat over there? That's another one of my little tricks. Using that boat, you can sneak over to Narukami Island from here. Convenient, huh? Why would I need to sneak? Ah, you see, this is what they call expecting the unexpected. Oh, I need to go back and take stock of those goods, so I can't stay here for long. Once again, thank you so much, Traveler. Looks like I'll have to change up my pickup spot. Quest completed. Alright. So we got an achievement out of that, too. Discover a secret passageway in Rito. So, 5 premium gems. So if you guys want that achievement for 5 premium gems, now you know where to go. Can I go back up the same way? Oh, sweet. Yeah, it took me from here to basically over here. Little trapdoor. Gonna stream? What are you working on today? Any characters? Or because you did like an animal, like a bee on the last one. That was cool. Alright. If anyone's gonna lurk for Durin, you should probably do so now. We are going to continue the quest. Where the hell's Durin? He's like in the forest somewhere, right? Or on a hillside. Mission. Yeah, we oh, this let's see, quest location occupied by other quests. By which one? 2 of them. Oh, which is homework? That's fine. Oh, and this is the TCG thing. Yeah, we're gonna do enable focus experience mode. Bye, everyone. Have fun. All right, you have a good one, Kaizen. Thank you for dropping by. If anyone else needs to lurk, feel free. I understand. But we're gonna enable focus mode here. Rendezvous with Durin in Mondstadt. Looks like they're at the Adventurers Guild. Wasn't it beautiful? It was very well done. Very well done. Are you gonna do other like nature kind of stuff? I used to do a lot of like scenery stuff, like mountains and forests and sunrises and stuff like that. So it was all like pencil sketches.
Some say the god of fate calls the outcome of every dice roll before it's even made.
Kaya.
And that's why the secret to winning a lot of games is having that god on your side.
Your luck is amazing, Kaya.
It's Klee.
Your turn. Give it another shot.
Who's playing with Durin?
Fear not, O Crimson Dragonborn, for I, the Princess of Ertalang, have bestowed upon you the benediction of the midnight hour, and with it you shall surely smite this usurper.
Mein Fräulein means to say she's rooting for you in secret. Oh, and that you must, at all cost, defeat the one who snatched her limited edition card back.
I'm not too sure if that counts as good luck or bad.
Wait. Oh, these are D8s. Never mind. I thought it was like these are. Oh, Daito.
There was a cat that really was gone. Nyan's greatest love machine. It was a shame how he carried on.
Let's sit properly. How's it going, Daito? Welcome in.
Tis not but the perfidious machinations of fate.
Look, everyone's playing a game.
Hey, everyone!
It's all the Mondstadt people, Daito.
Mr. Honorary Knight and Paimon! You're back!
It's good to see you, Honorary Knight. Mein Fräulein is quite invested in the outcome of this match, so please allow me to extend greetings on her behalf.
Of course. But if you're out playing cards, how come you're not over at the Cat's Tail?
There's something about our horned friend over there that seems to frighten off little animals. Could be because he used to be a dragon.
Aw. I mean, he is a dragon.
Normally, the animals just steer clear of him, but in the close confines of the Cat's Tail, let's just say, the feline residents probably consider it their turf. And we all know how dangerous a cornered cat can be.
Daito, how are you doing today? Happy Tuesday.
I just wanted to borrow one of their nests for a nap.
One of their nests? Wait, you mean a cat sofa?
Yeah, it's more comfortable for me. I can stretch out just the way I like. But it turns out the Black Cat and his minions are quite territorial. Luckily, Miss Diona helped smooth things over, and they finally agreed to let me use one. But, I only get to use it after dark.
Tough luck.
Oh, Diona stepped in! You know, underneath it all, she really does like helping people.
The more likely reason is because Durin won't touch a drop of alcohol. As far as Diona's concerned, that pretty much makes them two peas in a pod. It's a shame, really, considering everything Mondstadt has to offer in that regard.
Mondstadt's alcoholic drinks are a bit too much for me to handle right now. But maybe someday.
There's no need to force it. Who says you have to drink just because you're in Mondstadt?
Yeah, it's just... I'd really like to make some more friends. So I need to learn how humans socialize. I guess alcohol is usually involved, though. But that's why I started learning how to play Genius Invocation TCG. It's also a kind of social activity, but it doesn't involve drinking. And I've been lucky enough to receive the guidance of the Prinzessin de Verurteilung herself.
Verurteilung.
Exactly! Who needs alcohol when you can make friends playing card games? Speaking of which, need any tips from the master over here? You wipe the floor with that opponent of yours. Paimon guarantees it.
Except we actually haven't started the TCG.
Unfortunately, with the luck he's having, not even that legendary card master from Sumeru could turn things around at this point.
Yeah, that last roll wasn't great. But who knows? Maybe you'll have better luck next time?
Daito, you still there? How are you doing today?
He keeps getting the exact same roll over and over. This is the third time already.
Seriously? It seems like a very unlikely coincidence. Is he holding him a certain way, accidentally?
If there really is a god of fate, they could have cut this kid a bit of slack. Like, I don't know, make it possible for him to roll at least one other side of the dice?
I think I've lost.
Must even a dragonborn, sanctified by the power of benediction, succumb to fate's insidious snares? Don't be sad, Durin. You'll definitely win the next round. You can even borrow Todoko if you want. Mom says she brings good luck.
Oh. Hey, Daryl. Welcome in. How you doing today?
Thanks, Clee, but there's something more important I need to take care of now.
Oh, okay. So, the book's given us another hint, right?
Yep, and I think I've guessed where we're headed this time. Come on, follow me.
Good, tired but good. Yeah, me too. I'm a little tired. I was gonna take a nap, but then I forgot. I was like, oh shoot, I need to pick up that GameStop order from a few days ago. All right, let's talk to these guys before we leave. Talk to. Actually, Kaya spoke first. Let's talk to Kaya.
Not every day you're back in Mondstadt, huh? Care to grab a drink if you're free?
What'd you get? Oh, there was a $100 micro SD express card. You know, the ones that are compatible with Switch 2. 512 gigs. Normally it's $100. There must have been like a price error because GameStop listed it for 20 bucks.
Mr. Honorary Knight and Durin, are you heading off in a big adventure? But Master Jean said I can't leave the city today. Promise me you'll tell me all about it when you get back, okay?
Official.
So be it. Such are fate's accursed wiles.
All right. Oh, and Diona.
Ugh, where's that stench of booze coming from? Ugh, it's gotta be him. Ugh.
What are all the cat-like characters we have in the game?
Come take a look.
Shalon's and Ocelot, right? We have Lynette, we have Diona, and we have Kirara. Do we have any others? Either a price error or extended cyber. No, that is way too good of a deal. From $100 down to 20. What most people think happened is that they probably meant for it to be $20 off and be 80 instead of 100. Are you doing? Are you winning? We're going through a story quest right now. We did do Stygian, and then we did do Spiral Abyss. Where the hell are we going? Head to Stormterror's lair. So we got some Primo Gems out of that Daito, so that's good. Alright, Stormterror's lair. The original boss.
In what sort of castle might a storybook dragon dwell? The witch turned to a mighty dragon born upon the wind to seek her answer. From afar, she beheld a solitary castle, standing lonely beneath its wings, and wrote it into words. Its walls kept out the wind and rain, yet also cast a solemn shadow. Enveloped by their shade, the story's boughs were lulled into a torpid slumber and reached no further skyward.
So that's the clue. I think we're meant to find a place where dragons live, and this time, in the real world.
So Stormterror's lair.
I asked around, and it just so happens that there's a place like that in Mondstadt.
Yep, that checks out.
I've heard that the dragon here is called Dvalin, and that he's a magnificent creature. I hope I get the chance to meet him.
Wait a second. Do you think having the two of them meet is the best idea? You know, considering everything that happened in the past?
No, this turn's different. Could be a problem. Droll says, I might be able to get my Switch 2 on Tuesday so I can have it set up for both Christmas Eve and... Oh, that'd be fun. You gonna play with the family at all, or is it just mostly for you? Because usually if I have it set up for parties, like, or for holidays, it's usually for a party.
How would we even explain everything to him? Well, if we do run into Dvalin, it should turn out okay with us there at least.
Is something wrong?
Nope. Let's go!
Go deeper into Stormterror's lair. Let's see, both depending on how many people want to play. That'll be fun. That'll be fun. Are you just getting the system in Mario Kart? Do you know if you're getting like any additional Joy-Cons or maybe a Pro Controller? Where am I heading? Why don't I just head here?
So, this is where Dvalin lives?
In the past, we had to jump in. What do you mean in the past? What about now?
Yeah, right into the middle of a raging storm.
If you're afraid of getting blown away, Paimon, you can always hang on to my sleeve.
This isn't Paimon's first rodeo. Come on, let's get going.
Enveloped by their shade, the story's boughs were lulled into whatever. Okay. Possibility.
The little dragon grew with each passing day, and the story witch, who loved him dearly, built him a big, beautiful castle. Yet in the end, she herself succumbed to time's merciless march, setting forth on a journey to a place beyond even the stars.
No.
All of a sudden, the little dragon found himself alone. He tried leaving the castle to make some new friends. But already, he had grown the claws and scales of an evil dragon, just as the prophecy had foretold. Afraid he might hurt someone, the gentle little dragon hid within the castle his mother had built, and came forth no more.
Whoa.
Looks like we're back in the story world. And from the sounds
Simulonka,
of it,
guys.
this chapter must be about Simulonka, right?
This castle brings back a lot of memories. Guys, we're back in Simulonka.
Yeah, like the fairy from the Forest of Blessings, the king of Constellation Metropole, that cat lady who turns into a box.
Ah, yep. That will be Nilu, Navia, and Kirara.
Oh, and there's Hat Guy, too. Only lately, whenever I see Hat Guy, I get this strange feeling.
What kind of feeling?
It's like there's something on his mind. He hasn't told me what it is, but I can sense it all the same.
I thought I already told us.
Well, he's always been kind of broody.
Does the same thing. Next time you get the chance, just ask him. I thought he told us in the Archon quest.
I guess I should focus on fulfilling my mother's final wish for now, though.
Yeah, we should get started on this chapter. So, let's track you down and free you from fate's curse once again.
That day, a small band of adventurers suddenly arrived beneath the castle walls. They promised to help the little dragon cast off the curse of fate. Yet as they stood beneath the castle walls, it appeared they had no idea how to even begin.
Hey! Instead of making fun of us, how about giving us a hint?
The little dragon had shut himself inside the tall tower at the castle's center. Anyone who wished to reach him must traverse the barriers that wall off his heart, for there is no other way.
Thank you.
Looks like we're in for another long one.
Let me try something.
Ooh, do you have an idea?
If that little dragon in the tower used to be me, then surely I'd know how he shuts people out better than anyone. Come on, follow me.
Alright. Let's see, Durrell says, I'm getting additional stuff, but I'll have to wait to open that on Christmas. Okay, okay. I asked for Persona 3 Reload and Prime 4, and I'm guessing I'll be able to also get the case I asked for. Okay. I mean, no, neither of those are multiplayer. But at the very least, like, if you ask for any controllers, then hopefully you'll be able to open those on, like, Christmas Day, and then can play with family members for, like, Mario Kart or something.
That telescope. I've seen magical tools like that before. It should come in handy.
Set of magical building blocks from Simulanka, said to change in mysterious ways when used with a magical telescope. Approach them to pick up the blocks, though you cannot carry them far. After picking up a block, hold the splice button to enter splicing mode. This time you can move the toy building blocks to glowing connection points before releasing the splice button to complete the splicing. When close to a connection point, you can press the button to easily complete the splice. After placing the building blocks onto the base in front of the magical telescope, you can observe them through the telescope to compare their relative size, position in space. This allows you to project the blocks further away or retrieve distant blocks. Giant building blocks from Simulanka, also known as soaring toys, for their remarkably bouncy tops. Jumping from their tops launches you high into the air, making them perfect for getting over obstacles or reaching high places. Let's see, I still have all my switch. Oh, that's true, yeah. Forgot those work with that. Alright, where are we supposed to put this? No blocks to use. What? I am holding it. Okay. What? Oh, B. Connection point not found. Hold the attack button. What? I wanted this thing. What? There we go. Anyways, I'm exhausted. I was at One Piece locals. I was going to stay up for 99 and Percy Jackson, but I need sleep. Okay. We're not going to be on that long today, so... Oh.
That block just got bigger!
We can get past the obstacles ahead by using these blocks to jump upwards.
The opponent's blocking your path. We're both pyro? Oh my god.
Lament for the end. Hey, leave it to me. Absurd. Will I become a star in the sky?
I just died.
This place is like a maze! How are we supposed to get through?
We'll just have to check each spot.
Great. Look at all the symbols here, guys. Asmodee. Hup.
Decay! New life! Get back!
He's alive.
We should be able to use this block somewhere.
Block. Was there a block? Oh, this one.
Still not enough. Guess we'll have to keep searching. It's so dark here.
Hey, there's a fire over there. Let's go check it out.
Oh, hey.
Wait, is that? A little pixie that can fly. Are you here to help the dragon break his curse too?
Oh, what's this? More brave adventurers bold enough to set foot in this castle? Come, join the ranks of your liege's guard.
It's Navia.
Nilu and Navia! Nilu? No. I'm a flying squirrel fairy.
And I'm a giraffe king. Not this Navia you speak of.
I think this is the real them. More like how Durin remembers them. Ah.
That's right. Oh, and don't forget Catbox Lady.
Oh my god.
Are you friend or foe? Friend! Definitely friend! Miss, Catbox Lady?
So our companions from Simulanka are here.
Yeah, Simulanka is a big part of Durin's story. So, guess it's no surprise the people we were with there would make an appearance.
Okay, I think I get it now. Flying Squirrel Fairy, Giraffe King, Catbox Lady, please follow me.
The shadows cast from the high walls of the tower were manifestations of the dragon's loneliness, barring the path of any visitor who wished to be his friend. The group of brave creatures sought to aid the little dragon in lifting his curse, yet without light to lead the way. The group was trapped, waiting on a miracle.
These shadows are blocking our path. It seems like the little dragon is afraid to meet us.
If only we had more firelight. But you three don't seem to fear these shadows. Why?
Because I carry more than enough firelight for all of us. Besides, even though we're here to complete the story, who says it can't look a little different this time? Before I met you all, I was so sure I'd never make a single friend. I pushed away anyone who tried to get close, until some kind of miracle brought you to me.
Jules, welcome back. You just finished. Bowshock, welcome in as well. Let's drop Dragoya back. No, Dragoya, a service for Dragoya lost has ended. It'll take about an hour for reference when you do it. Okay. Well, that was gonna be our Sunday, so I guess that'll be a short stream.
This time, allow me to return the favor.
I'm not sure I followed all that, but you want to help the little dragon break his curse too, right?
Yes, so please, come with me.
The link for the Ivy and Camille conversation one watched. Did we watch that already, or maybe not? Let's do this. Let's do it on our next Fae day, which should be. Oh, thank you, Bowshock. Yeah, hold on to the link. We're gonna do it on our next Fae day because a lot of people aren't here right now. So don't lose that link. Let's plan on doing that on. Thursday. Okay, we can't go up there apparently. When's the trailer for New Year's Heroes? It should be on the 29th. Oh wait, I lied. Silhouette's on the 29th. And then trailer on the 30th. Oops.
Looks like this telescope is missing some blocks.
Oh. Let's try the one we just picked up.
Go to the Young Dragon's hideout. So yeah, Bojack on the trailer's on the 30th, but the silhouette should be on the 29th. Looks like I'll be writing for more story stuff soon here.
Come on, Durin, or little story dragon, just calm down.
Stay back. I don't want to hurt you.
Oh yeah.
Loneliness and fear had built a cage around his heart, shutting out all who would look upon him. And thus, all the adventurers could see was his shadow.
Don't worry, we can help you.
Don't come any closer.
And that was the last the little dragon spoke.
How are we supposed to persuade him if he won't even talk to us?
If you can still hear me, please listen to what I have to say. Your claws and scales aren't some kind of inescapable curse, you know? You'll overcome it one day and make lots of new friends. I'm sure you think I'm lying. After all, no matter how many times you've tried to break it, nothing's ever worked. But this time is different. I brought your friends here to see you.
Oh, what did you say?
Hi, little dragon. I'm the Flying Squirrel Fairy, and I'm here to help you lift your curse. Will you talk to me?
And I'm the Giraffe King. Don't be afraid, little one. We're not afraid of you. I'm just a cat in a box, but I'd very much like to be your friend too.
These are my friends?
Yeah, they're your friends in the future you'd be trying to avoid. I can promise you that. They're reaching out, so you just have to ask yourself one question. Do you accept?
After a long silence, heavy footsteps echoed from the tower's shadows. But still, the one who made them refused to step forward. Though the cage to his heart had been unlocked, the little dragon remained ashamed of his claws and scales.
How can I face my friends like this?
Don't worry, little dragon. We're gonna offer up our blessings and make a wish to the goddess of fate to release you from your curse.
make a wish to the goddess of fate?
At that moment, the Merry Witch made her entrance.
Alice.
Hello, little one. Don't be afraid. With the blessings of your friends, your wish shall be granted.
Alice? Wait, you're the Merry Witch from the story?
Correct. It is I, the Merry Witch, creator goddess of this realm. And it just so happens the goddess of fate is none other than my dear friend, the Story Witch. I'm here to make good on my promise to lend her my second strongest spell. With this spell, she'll have the power to create an entire world. So naturally, granting your wish won't be a problem. Provided, of course, you receive your friend's blessings. But before we proceed, I must check something on her behalf. Little dragon, do you accept this blessing?
I want to be your friend. So if you're offering, then yes, I would love to have your blessings.
Of course, just like last time.
Were it not for the adventurer's blessings, this tale might have ended long ago. Thanks to them, another ending was now possible. Yet in that moment, they did not know if this blessing was truly a gift or just another trial in disguise.
What? You didn't say a word when we actually needed a clue, but now at a critical moment like this, you turn up and start playing mind games?
Another trial. Huh, that actually sounds about right. Be it the fictional problems of Simulanka or unavoidable conflicts in the real world, if you think about it, that's what they've been all along. But if it wasn't for those trials, I never would have met any of you. So, despite all that, I'd still like to give my blessings.
That's the spirit! Come on, Durin! Let's help you make your wish come true again!
On behalf of both my past and present selves, thank you, my friends.
Fortunately, a brave band of adventurers heard tell of the little dragon's story. Determined to lift his curse, they fought their way through countless trials. To help him, they offered up their blessings and made a wish to the goddess of fate. At last, their wish was granted. Shaking off his scales, the little dragon stepped out of the tower's gloom. But his time in the world beyond the castle would soon teach him this gift would bring blessings and trials of its own. And as far as the little dragon was concerned, the tricks of fate had just begun.
Oh, that was quick. We're back.
So, Durin's wish came true, just like it did before.
If this story was written by my mother, then surely that was the last chapter we just completed.
No, we have 2 more.
Oh yeah! So, in other words, we finished it! Looks like that's a wrap on Alice's task, and there's even some ink to spare.
Time to return the book, huh?
Guess we'll have to wait for her to make contact, like she said.
So, my mother's final story has finally come to a close.
Sounds like you're a little sad to see it end.
Back when I was still living in Simulanka, I was always under the illusion that my mother had never truly left. Every day I spent immersed in that world. It felt like she was right there by my side, still reading me bedtime stories. But now...
Durin!
Don't worry, we're all here for you.
That's right! And you've got so many other friends waiting for you back in Mondstadt!
Yeah,
Speaking of which, after all that flying around, Paimon's starting to feel hungry again. So, why don't we head back to Mondstadt? Perfect excuse for a big meal with the rest of the gang. Now that you've fulfilled your mom's final wish, a little celebration seems in order, right?
It's just a pity we never got to see that big, beautiful dragon.
Oh yeah, Durin.
You were really looking forward to meeting him, huh? He might not be here all the time, but Paimon's sure you'll get a chance at some point.
Alright, no worries. Anyway, since this feast is to celebrate me fulfilling my mother's final wish, I guess it should be my little treat. Pretty sure that's how humans do it, right?
Nuh-uh. This one's on the Traveler and Paimon. Celebrating each other's achievements is what friends are for.
Honestly, when it comes to who treats who, human rules are so complicated.
See? He wants to be friends with you too.
Aww. That's kind of cute, actually. Hey, base content, finishing math. Write my own tenor sax solo. Hey, that'll be fun.
But the moment hasn't come. At least not yet. In any case, the story should have a better ending this time, don't you think?
Return to Mondstadt with Durin. Wait, where was Venti just now? The song I want to do doesn't have a tenor parts. It's from Disney. Ah, okay. Are you gonna get an arranging license? We got the license for next year's marching show. Oh, Descendants? Nice. I still haven't seen those movies. I think they came out toward the end of like the first one came out toward the end of when I kind of was still watching on a regular basis. You get a license to write a solo? Only if you're performing it publicly. I beg you to? To what? Watch the movies? What do you got a license? I mean, if you're performing it in front of a small enough group, you might be fine. But if you're gonna like upload it to YouTube, you probably need to get a license.
Feels like we were gone for ages. Hopefully, everyone's still here.
So, your adventure was a success, huh? Want to grab a drink to celebrate?
Absolutely not. No booze allowed.
Diona.
Mr. Honorary Knight, Durin, I want to hear all about your big adventure.
It's Klee. Everyone's watching.
We're gonna order a big meal for everybody first. We'll talk while we eat.
Excuse me. Did I hear you call him Durin just now? But wasn't Durin the evil dragon that fell on Dragonspine?
Come on, miss. This Durin isn't that evil dragon from Dragonspine. Albedo said... well, it was kind of confusing. But anyway, it's super cool.
Oh, is this your first time meeting him, Marjorie? No wonder you're getting him confused.
Still, even if you hadn't met him yet, shouldn't you have heard about him at the very least? At this point, pretty much the whole city has.
Why is everyone...
So, What exactly is his connection with the evil dragon?
Uh-oh, they're scared of him.
Wait, but those horns on his head. Surely he's not a...
Did everyone just forget about Durin?
Uh-oh. Wait. Because we've been changing... Wait. What happened?
No, that can't be.
Something's going on. Oh no.
The tricks of fate had just begun.
We gotta overcome this, guys.
Watch out!
Stay calm.
No one got hurt. Did they?
Durin! Durin!
You asked Barbara to tend to Durin and then settle him in a guest room. At the church? Oh.
I just had Barbara check him over. He's not badly hurt, but he seems to have burned through a lot of energy fending off some kind of dangerous power. He'll need some time to rest before he wakes up.
So, can someone explain what's going on here?
It seems like, aside from Durin's close acquaintances, the people of Mondstadt have forgotten everything about him.
How could that even happen?
Worse still, the abyssal power within him is showing signs of extreme instability. Could be a separate issue, though. I'm not sure.
If the abyssal power inside him spirals out of control, Mondstadt will be in grave danger.
Maybe we should ask Albedo.
I completely agree.
All right then. As acting Grand Master, I'll send a letter requesting Albedo's immediate return. Until then, the Knights will watch over Durin.
That's pretty much all we can do right now.
Also, allow me to look after this book for now. If you need to consult it, just drop by my office.
Do you think the book might have something to do with what's happening?
It's possible.
It's just weird that Alice still hasn't contacted us. Maybe we should head back inside the book and take another look.
Quest completed. And this is until... Wait for Durin to wake up. Okay, so we have to wait for him. Alright, base coordinate says Stagility uploads it to you. Oh, in that case then... Yeah, then you're fine, because if Stag gets in trouble for uploading it, then they're the ones in trouble, not you. So yeah, you're fine.
No need to worry. He's stable for now.
Klee was really looking forward to hanging out with Durin. We'd better not tell her what's happened to him just yet.
I'll have the Knights notify you as soon as he wakes up.
Can't go in? Alright.
Let's fly.
What is this building? I don't even... Does that make sense, base? Oh, the music game again. No? Since you're not the one uploading it, you're fine. So Stag will be the one to worry about that, if they're the ones uploading it. Don't have to, oh, you're fine. The school has they have ways around that. So
Take me up.
like a lot of schools already have like blanket licenses so that they can have permission to kind of do stuff like that. So yeah, you're fine, I would assume then. Just find a like solo on Google. I mean, again, like, as long as the school's doing it, you should be fine because they would have, they would most likely have a blanket license. Found this one. I'm gonna do it on base coordinate. You can do that too, but I wouldn't worry too much then, as long as the school's uploading it, and not you directly. So if you want to give it a try and kind of write your own, I would go for it, since you have the school behind you on that. Let's see. Sometimes when I get to Mondstadt, because I don't come around here often, I do try and find the, what's it called, like the mushrooms or something like that.
Let's fly.
Come fly with me, let's fly away.
Take me up.
Alright, anything else we need to do, guys? Because otherwise I think we're done for today. Yeah, we got 5 pulls out of everything. We're still below trend line by quite a bit, but we will get caught up. Monthlies in 2 weeks. Wait, Base, what's the name of the piece that you were thinking of arranging? Space between? Okay. For tenor sax? Okay. Yeah, you should be fine. Because another thing too is that if they upload, if another thing is that they upload it to the school's YouTube channel, the school's YouTube channel is very unlikely to be a profit channel, like a for-profit channel. Because you know, like some channels, they can basically earn profit by like when ads get played on the videos and stuff like that. But a lot of schools are not profit channels, which means that you probably wouldn't get in trouble for anything that's on that channel, because like it's for educational purposes. You know what I mean? So yeah, if they upload it there, I think you're fine.
When you lose your way,
so I think you're fine to
bring some perspective.
say I can write music. Okay, here's what I'm gonna say. I think you're fine to arrange your own, to make your own arrangement. I think you're fine to perform it at the recital, to enter and have it recorded and put on the YouTube channel. What I would not do, you know how there are like those sites where you can kind of like upload your own sheet music for stuff, like MuseScore and stuff like that. If you upload your arrangement to places like that, don't do it for profits. I wasn't planning on selling it. Okay, then yeah, you're probably fine then. For education purposes, I think you're going to be okay. And again, if it's uploaded to school's YouTube, they're not going to get in trouble because it's not. I don't think they're for profit. Now, if you try to sell it to like Hal Leonard or something, that might cause some issues.
To be led by the whispers of the abyss. Surviving is tough.
Should I ask Cozy in case? You're fine as long as it's for like your recital or for educational purposes. But don't sell it for profit unless you're sure what you're doing. Now, if you want to sell it for profits, then you can ask either me for advice or Cozy for advice or who else would know? No, I'm actually probably the best one to ask for about it. Bets? Maybe. Yeah, he might know as well. Honestly, I'm probably the best one to ask if you are looking to sell arrangements in the future. But yeah, I think Bets or Cozy would probably also have a good idea. Gate Gaming, welcome in. How you doing today? How have you been? Welcome. We were just kind of hanging out doing some Genshin today. We did some Spiral Abyss. We did some Stygian Onslaught, and then we did Durin's Story Quest Part 3. And now we're kind of just hanging out. We're not going to be on much longer though, because it's getting late and I'm waking up earlier tomorrow. Let's see. Let's cook some meals. I'm gonna do Instagram? What do you mean? But how's it going, Gate Gaming? I don't care as long as I'm not. Oh, I'm guessing that someone doing it. Okay, yeah, you're fine. Alright, let's make some food here, guys. So I can get the rewards. Confirm. Plus, I want to learn it because this is a song for my best friend who lives in Arizona. Oh, that's cool. One of my best friends from when I was in school, he currently lives in Arizona too. Lives in Phoenix. He's all rich now because he's a doctor, and so is his wife. And here I am, a teacher, struggling. Let's see. I bought a new phone though, just about 8,500 pesos, about less than $200. Suddenly my budget got tight, so I couldn't buy iPhone 13. I hear that. Yeah, I see things like normally this next year would be normally an upgrade year for me. I'm gonna hold out for one more year. I think one, it'll save me some money, and two, I think the year after next year is gonna be the big upgrade because that's gonna be the 20th anniversary iPhone. So I'm gonna wait for that. Let's see. I love her so much. She's my best friend of 6 years. And I'm gonna say that she always supported me in music. Oh, that's good then. It's always good to have the support of your friends. Yeah, the friend that I said is living in Arizona with his family now. Yeah, he was one of my best friends from like elementary school and middle school and high school. Although when we first met, what was this, like second grade? We had a bit of a rivalry going. Bit of a rivalry. She's coming in April, so I'm gonna have her come by and I'm gonna play it for. Oh, that'll be fun. Wait, when's the recital? Can she come to see that? This phone isn't bad at all. I can still play Genshin at mid to low settings though, only at 30 FPS, just like my PS4. I mean, I know there's a Genshin cloud option that might be able to handle. If you have good internet, at least that might be able to run it at better quality. I'm trying to get Cozy to put me on the day she's coming. Oh, that'll be fun. That'll be fun. Yeah, if you say something like that, I'm sure he'll if he can make it happen. If you let him know that, if he can make it happen, I'm sure he'll make it happen and put you on that day. All right, but Gate Gaming, now that you're playing it on your phone, have you been able to get caught up in everything? We're doing Durin's Story Quest, where we've finished the third day so far. So we have 2 more at least. And we have a week, guys, left on the banners before we're going to pull for Varessa. We have enough to guarantee her, although I'm hoping to win the 50-50. Because if I can win on either Varessa or Columbina, I'm guaranteed to get both. But if I can win the 50-50 on either one of them, then that also guarantees that I will get Escoffier whenever they rerun. For now, I have to plan as if they are rerunning alongside Columbina. That's not like a... I have no idea, and they might not, but I have to assume worst case scenario for my polls until I'm told otherwise. There it is. I was like, I saw a mushroom somewhere.
Take me up.
Also, it's my first AMOLED screen. My TV monitor and previous ones are all using LCD. Okay. Switch to AMOLED. OLED is such an upgrade. I think, yeah, my phones have all been OLED ever since. I think the iPhone 10 was my first OLED phone. And then now I have an OLED 4K TV here that I use for my for when I'm streaming Switch 2. So that's OLED. The iPads aren't OLED yet. They use what's called mini LED. So mini LED doesn't have the burn-in problems that OLED does, but it does have blooming. Like that's an issue with mini LED because instead of each pixel being lit up independently, it lights up like smaller zones. So if you have, like, if you're in a dark room and you're looking at a mostly black screen with like bright white text, you might see like blooming, or like it's like the space around the letters or the text is like almost like it's glowing almost. So that's not ideal. But it's a way that they were able to get bigger screens with better than regular LED technology sooner. So at least I think. Wait, is my iPad OLED? I don't even know. Let me check. I think it's mini LED.
Gaining some altitude.
Because then OLED would be the next step, and then the next step after that, the better one would be micro LED. But that's very expensive right now. Like that's the kind of stuff that's like Apple Vision Pro right now. Hold on. Is M4 iPad? Is this M4? Yeah, M4. M4 iPad Pro OLED? Question mark. Oh, it is OLED. Okay, I lied. So my phones, all three of the phones that are on me right now, my iPad, and then this 4K TV here are all OLED. And my MacBook Pro, which is an M1 Max, it's not OLED. I know that one for sure is a mini LED, because they don't have OLED MacBook Pros yet. The word is that the OLED MacBook Pros will be coming out not next year, but early 2027. Let's see. She's coming to Stag one day after school to meet me, and we're going to go to the mall after. You know what's sad? As a millennial, you know, I grew up when you would go to the mall during like the holiday season, like right now, it would be jam packed, like way more than usual, and like everyone would have like holiday decorations throughout the mall and everything, and it would have this like different atmosphere. It would be like a festive atmosphere. I went to the mall today to pick up a store pickup order from GameStop. The place was empty. There was like no decorations. I'm like, man, this is sad. There's like nothing going on here. Like it used to be both exciting and also daunting to go into a mall that crowded. And I went there today. I was like, this is sad. Let me see here. I'm up to date on Genshin. Never missed anything. I'm still playing on PS4. Okay. Apple called it a Retina screen. No. Retina screen has to do with the pixel density, like how many pixels in per square inch or whatever. So prior to Retina screens, which I think they started on the iPhone 4, they only screens had they had a good pixel density, like number of pixels per square inch, but you could see the pixels. What they did with the iPhone 4 is that they started putting in the space that normally would be 1 pixel, they started putting 4 pixels so that you could have a sharper image because the pixels were smaller and closer together. So now you couldn't discern the pixels with your eye if you held it at a normal distance, only if you were looking at them under a microscope. And then they started putting those Retina screens on like the iPad, the MacBooks, etc. So that's what Retina screen refers to. It's just a higher pixel density. What you're talking about is the lighting technology. And again, every iPhone since the iPhone 10 in 2017 has had OLED, and I'm pretty sure. Hold on. When did the iPad Pro switch to OLED? When did iPad Pro switch to OLED? Since the one that I have. Okay, so my M4 iPad Pro is literally the first OLED iPad. So early last year. And then again, the MacBooks aren't OLED yet. It sounds like they're going to switch to OLED MacBook Pros in 2027, which is when I'm expecting. Yeah, 2027 is probably when I'm going to be upgrading my phone. my iPad, and my MacBook Pro. So that's gonna be an expensive year for me. But it's gonna be the best year to upgrade because they're switching to a 2nm process on the chips. Do you think Ozzy will put it on the day I asked? Yeah, as long as you let him know that, like, hey, you have a friend coming from out of state to see you. Can they come see you play by having you put on the date? So again, if you let him know that, if he can make it happen, I'm sure he'll try. Now, there might be other reasons why it might not work out, but I'm sure he'll try. LCD backlighting is still bleeding, especially on the black picture. Yeah, that's blooming, yeah. LCD couldn't show a perfect black. Another weakness of LCD is that ghosting. Yeah, that's not really a problem on like the mini LED that the MacBook Pro, and then the iPad used to have mini LED. I know with my M1 iPad Pro, so it was like 3 years before this one, that one had blooming, so that was mini LED. But yeah, apparently this one's OLED. So my phones are all OLED, my iPad's OLED, and that's it so far. And then my TV, my 4K TV that I bought specifically for the Switch 2 launch. I was like, oh, Switch 2 can handle 4K, can handle 120 FPS. I need to upgrade because I was using a 720p 23-inch monitor before, or TV before, when I was streaming like Switch games, right? So 720p 23-inch, and I think it was only 30 frames per second, maybe 60, but I'm pretty sure it was 30. So I was like, I'm gonna need to upgrade for Switch 2. So I got this one. It's 32-inch 4K OLED. I think it can do 240 FPS, although obviously Switch doesn't go that high.
Surviving is tough.
So that cost a pretty penny.
It's tougher.
Which mall is this? Ridge. I went to the mall and it was all decorated. Not the part that I went. I mean, they might have had some decorations, but you should have seen that mall in like the 90s or 2000s. Many people agree that LCD lifespan is still far greater than OLED because they said OLED issues is that the image retention and image burn-in. For especially, okay, so yes, that's true, especially for older OLED screens. Newer OLEDs don't have as much of an issue with burn-in. It still happens, it can happen, but it's not as bad a problem with newer OLED technology. Let's see, so Retina screen is like games and anti-aliasing. Yes, exactly, yeah. So again, that started with the iPhone 4. It's an iPhone 10, the first OLED phone. It should have been, let me see. Where'd you go? Where'd I go? What do you mean? Hold on. When did... I'm pretty sure it was the iPhone 10. Let me check. Yep. Oh, yeah. iPhone 10 was the first OLED iPhone. Now, that being said, so you know how there's the base phone lines, and then there's like the Pro iPhones. The Pro phones have always had the OLED. After the iPhone 10 and maybe the 10s, I think after the 10s, I think the regular phones stayed with LCD, but the Pro phones, ever since the iPhone 10, have always had OLED.
Lost myself long ago.
And again, 10, Apple writes it with an X, so the Roman numeral 10. What parts? I was by AMC. I was by GameStop. My new let's see. My new phone screen is 1.5K resolution, 144 hertz AMOLED. Not Ronan, welcome in. Let's see. Pros have 120 hertz display, which is a must. So you're talking about refresh rate. That's different from what we were talking about. GameStop is dead. Well, it's because it's by the Sears, or the old Sears store, which is gone now. Because Sears was the anchor store on that side. So, the bookstore over there. I remember when bookstores were like... You guys remember like Walden Books? Man, that was like the...
When you lose your way, gaining some altitude.
The cheap bookstore for millennials. There was Walden Books. There was Borders. That was the bougie bookstore. And then there's Barnes & Noble, which is still around. You miss Sears? Let's see here. Old enough to remember Scholastic Book Fair. I mean, that's still a thing, you know. Everything was cheap. It's because it's Sears. remember when I first played a Sega Saturn on one of the Sears demo kiosks. Sega Saturn, guys. I also see all flagship smartphone models is really close to laptops mid-range models specs now. I mean, yeah. I mean, most like the big phones are all essentially like mini supercomputers. I want to say got a cat PJ set from Sears.
I allowed myself to be led by the whispers of the abyss.
Chased my cat with it.
Surviving is tough.
Wait, they had one. Are you talking about Scholastic Book Fair? I remember. So you know how they had the Scholastic Book Fair where they would come to the school and set up, and you can kind of browse what they had. They also had Scholastic Book Club where you would get like a 4-page like book, like pamphlet or booklet or whatever, and you could place an order through your class or through your teacher. I remember through that Scholastic Book Club, in like the software section, I ordered because I had played like this in the school, like on the school computer. They had, was it SimCity 2000, and then I liked it enough that when I saw it in Scholastic Book Club, and not that no, they did have that. They had not Scholastic. They had SimCity 2000, but then they also had SimCity 3000 and The Sims 1, and I ordered SimCity 3000 and The Sims 1, and then it was funny just remembering my reading teacher coming to my science class to bring that to me, because it'll all be through the reading teacher. I think there will be a time that smartphones will literally replace laptops now. Laptops aren't the future. The future, and because like that's why like I'm the tech lead for one of my schools, and despite the fact that years ago they wanted to go 1-to-1, and some of the teachers were pushing for essentially Chromebooks, I was pushing for tablets, which have gotten way better now, especially too. But the thing is, like, it was so frustrating because like hearing all these teachers, they're older, let's put it that way, they're older, and just hearing them talk about technology in the way they did, because one, they don't know technology that well, and two, they were talking about like using these laptops in the ways that they use the laptops or and such. But the thing is, professional industries, they're not moving towards it's like the industries aren't based on laptops anymore, or computers even. Only like your high-end like design stuff will be using things like desktop computers. Everything else like sales points and stuff like that, they're all using tablets. And the future of inputs is going to be touch and voice. Let's see, oh yeah, you need to play Sims 4. I mean, it's available for Mac. I can play it if I wanted to. From what I know, current iPhone Pro Max version specs is way above laptops at the same price range. Yes, and here's the thing. That's why, because Apple... Apple started designing its own chips for the iPhone a long time ago. And because they got so good at designing the chips, and again, they're ARM-based chips, which when ARM first started, they were designed for mobile, and they were power efficient, and they weren't all that powerful. But they've gotten better over the years. And Apple got so good, and they essentially became experts at these ARM chips, that they were like, huh, we've been using these Intel chips in our Macs for like a decade, but we're so good at ARM now, and ARM's gotten so much more powerful. They're like, why don't we design our own chips for the Mac? So that's what the M series chips are. And when they switched from Intel to the M1 chip, leaps and bounds ahead of what they had done previously, and it blew the consumer computer chip industry like away. Like it's mind blowing how far ahead of Intel and AMD the M series chips are. It's ridiculous. The only real downside is that you can't do a separate graphics card. It's all integrated. Now, granted, the graphics in the M series chips, they're nothing to scoff at. They're great, but you can't get like the high-end graphics cards or that kind of quality in a Mac yet, unless you're showing out to max it out at the time of purchase. But yeah, if you guys ever use an M series Mac, oh my god, it's amazing. I can render like 8K video in seconds. It's fantastic. And then they were like, huh, well, what if we took these M series chips, put them in the iPad? So that I have an M4 in my iPad Pro that I'm using to play Genshin right now. So that's why I can run this on the highest visual settings, 120 frames per second. You guys can't see that on Twitch, but 120 frames per second, highest visual settings on everything. So tablets too, especially Android, is caught up to Chromebooks and laptop now. Yeah, but unfortunately, the Android tablet market is like non-existent.
When you
Like,
lose your way,
if you're
gaining
getting a
some
tablet,
altitude
you
can
need to
bring
get an
some
iPad. There's
perspective.
no reason to get an Android tablet right now. Please, it's so fun. Sims 4? I mean, I haven't played Sims in a long time. Although, actually, when I was at TwitchCon, they did demo for me. There's this new Sims game coming to, like, Apple Arcade. I don't remember what it's called. But they demoed it for me. The game wasn't out at the time. I don't know if it's still out, if it's still in development or if it's out already. I think it was like, it's like My Sims or something Cozy Life, or I don't remember what it is. But they had me demo it on. I think we tried it on iPad Mini. iPad tablets is already way above. Yeah, well, because then they put the A series chips were the ones in the iPhone, and they got so good at it, they were like, hey, let's design our own computer chips. So they designed the M series chip for the Mac, and then they were like, well, we also have the A series chips in the iPad, but what if we made those the M series chips, which are designed for obviously like computer like desktop quality like tasks and stuff like that. So now they have the M series chips in the iPads, and those are amazing. Also, from what I know, since Apple doesn't share the OS and models to other companies, that its OS optimization is so amazing compared to yes, exactly, yeah. Like, there's some merit to getting an Android phone. There's some good stuff out there, but if you're getting a tablet, you have to get an iPad. Like, iPad has like 95% of the market for tablets, so every developer is going to be developing for iPads because they know that's where the users are that are going to be buying their products. If you're a developer and you're making a product for an Android tablet, you know you're not going to get a lot of sales. So everyone's making stuff for the iPads, so they have such an iron grip on the tablet market. If you're getting a tablet, you need to get an iPad. There's no reason to get anything else. Xiaomi, Lenovo, and Samsung released an Android tablet that has flagship smartphones chips in it. Yeah, the thing is though, those chips haven't caught up to the M series or the A series chips that are, or the M series chips that are in the iPads and the Macs. So they're not there yet. And again, without that market share, developers and publishers aren't going to be making software that you want to use for Android first. There's always going to be they're always going to prioritize iPad. So on the rise today. Again, in the hardware capabilities, and this is the thing too with like some smartphone brands, like you can put all the hardware gadgets and tech in there, but unless you have a good operating system and the software to use, there's like you can brag about, oh, they can do this, it has these specs and and these features and whatnot, but if you're not going to use it, then what's the point? So that's why iPads right now, because they have such a large market share and developers are focusing on iPad, that's why if you're going to get an iPad or a tablet, you need to get an iPad. So yeah, and that's another reason why like developers like developing for iPhone too, because again, iOS does not have as big a market share compared to iPads on the tablet line. iOS has less than half, okay, of the smartphone market. Now, if you include all phones total, iPhone or iOS is actually very small because obviously they don't make like iOS like flip phones or anything like that. So it's a much smaller market, but the publishers and developers still focus on iPhones. One, because they know that iOS users are more willing to pay for their software as opposed to a lot of Android phones where you can easily like sideload stuff, right? But on the other hand, if you're a developer, if you're a publisher, you know, like you can develop an app and know what capabilities the majority of iPhone users have, like what camera technology, what sensor technologies are in iPhones and iPads and so on. With Android, because it's so fragmented, like you have different manufacturers and OEMs making their own Android devices, but they all have different features, right? Different cameras, different camera technology, different types of like maybe a hardware keyboard, different types of sensors in there, and because of that, when you develop software for Android, you have to develop it for like the least common, the most common denominator, which means you have to develop it for the feature sets that all the phones you expect them to have, or the lowest quality camera that you expect them to have, and stuff like that. So because of that, already you're at a disadvantage compared to developing something for like an iPhone. Now you can include features for this camera. This phone line has better cameras, or this phone has this maybe a faster chipset or more powerful chip for gaming or whatever. But the problem is now you're basically asking your developers to be like, okay, develop this feature for these phones, but you still have to develop a lesser version for people that don't have those phones. So yeah, that's the trade-off. And again, if you don't have as many users that are willing to pay money for apps on Android, well, now if you're spending that extra money to have developers kind of develop, we have to plan, we want to make these features available for these better phones, but we also have to develop a version so that like lesser phones or less powerful phones can run it as well. That's a lot of investment for less gain, right? You're not getting as much return back. Whereas with iPhone, because everything is so uniform, because like you said, they everything's optimized. Because everything's so uniform, they can know, okay, like 90% of our user base is going to have this type of camera or better, this type of chip or better, and so on. So since Android is still sharing OS to other companies, so the system or optimization is really up and down to Android tablets and phones. Yeah. So again, it's going to be, because of the market share, there's going to be a little bit more reason to get an Android phone than a tablet. But yeah, if you're getting a tablet, there's no question you need to get an iPad. An iPad Pro if you can. The majority of YouTubers I'm watching, they use iPhones as the camera because of how amazing the Apple optimization they did. Yeah. And the thing is, they're using Sony cameras, but because they know which cameras are in each, because developers know which cameras in 90% of the iPhones out there, they can easily optimize their apps and things like that for those cameras. Joseph, welcome in. Drop by only to get depressed about Dragalia loss. I'm sorry. I just had it on there because we were listening to the music earlier. Hope you're doing well, Joseph. We're actually going to be wrapping up soon. We did what we were doing today. We did Durin Story Quest Part 3. We did Stygian Onslaught. We did Spiral Abyss. For example, 2, Genshin implemented controller support to iPhone literally at 1.0, while Android gets controller support only in mid NatLine area. Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah, Apple dollars literally prioritize Apple. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and again, most of that too is because they know more iOS users are willing to pay money as opposed to like on Android, where you can sideload stuff without paying. So, now granted, with an online game like this, obviously you can only get Prima Gems or not get banned from something like. Am I safe? Yeah, you're safe, guys. And we finished. It only took like half an hour for Durin Story Quest, so I think. Actually, I don't even know. Maybe it took more. It felt like they have an hour. But yeah. Although I will say this though, Gate Gaming. So, interestingly, on iPhone and iPad, they support 120 frames per second, which is funny because not all iPhones can do 100. Well, at least prior to I think this year's phones. I think this year's phones they all have 120 frames per second now. But older iPhones, like the base model, couldn't do 120 frames per second. But for some reason, it's supported on iOS, but they don't support it on any other platform. Not even like Windows Genshin does 120 frames per second, which I'm not a Windows person, but even I find that odd. Can confirm break is functional again. Yes, but I don't have the polls, guys. I don't have the polls. Developer prioritization is more due to the wildly varying SKUs and configurations than anything about inferiority. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we were just saying that too, like for like with when you're developing for iOS, because again, Android does have a bigger market share, especially on the phone side. Maybe not so much the tablet side, but definitely the phone side. But we were just saying that because developers can know, 90% of iPhone users have this type of camera or better, or this type of chip or better. They can design for the market, whereas because Android's so fragmented, again, from a hardware perspective, there's some great phones out there that are Android, and some powerful phones, and they have great cameras or great other hardware sets or features or whatever. And a lot of companies, especially like overseas, are trying some interesting things with hardware. The problem is though, as a developer, you have to develop for basically the most common denominator, right? So you look at the chips that what people are using. You look at your user base, like say, oh, this percent of people are using this chip or phone, or this percentage are using this one, and you basically have to develop. Okay, we need to develop our game or our software or whatever, so that 90% of the Android users can use it. Well, unfortunately, not 90% of the users are on the high-end flagship phones. Not even 90% of the users are even on the latest operating system. So that's the issue there. You can't assume your users will have this operating system or this type of camera or this type of chip or whatever. Whereas on the iPhone, the majority you basically can design for that. So that it's also cheaper for you because now you don't have to develop as many different versions of it. Whereas on Android, well, now you develop the app or software or game or whatever for the most common denominator, but then maybe you want to add extra features for people that have a better, like a higher resolution screen, or maybe have a higher frame rate, but then you still have to have a separate version or a different build. That's what I'm thinking of. Have a different build for maybe people who don't have a higher resolution phone, or people who don't have a fast enough chip, or people who don't have a built-in like selfie camera that can do like whatever quality or whatever. So stuff like that. It's so fragmented that way. I was able to auto the M40's final boss with a break team that still needs improvement build wise. What was it? What was the team? Another down to Android is the bloatware and the ads to the system of the phone you buy, especially low to mid-range models like mine. And a lot of that can be even carrier too, because Android is an open platform. A lot of that is carrier stuff. I'm sure that Linux is a real Wild West with configurations of users trying your apps out. Apple only has one chip to their iPhone. The A-series chips. I mean, granted, Pro phones might get like the newer one first. But then they kind of like trickle down the older, like the previous model or previous chip into like the base models. And then with the iPads, or at least the lower tier iPads, they might get like an upgraded version of those A-series chips, like the A15X or something like that, as opposed to like an A15 that would be in a phone. A15X would be like the iPad chip. But then, like I said, as of 2021, I think, they started putting the M-series chips in the iPad. So now they're following basically the Mac. Firefly, Dahlia, Fugue, Lingsha. Those are all characters I want, but can't get. Firefly was E2S1, but nobody else had their Eidolons or features. Yeah, see, I wanted Linkshot just so I have more flexibility, because right now everything's either Aventurine or Gallagher. So I wanted Linkshot. I wanted Fugue to kind of free up.
I'm a little out of practice.
Was it Harmony MC?
Any conflicts around?
Because that was on the Firefly team.
I'm in the mood for some peacemaking.
Dahlia and Sonia. Destiny, welcome in. Got home very early today. Welcome home. We're probably not gonna be on too much longer, because again, I want to wake up even earlier tomorrow. Actually, I want to swing by Krispy Kreme. They have like peanuts, like the Charlie Brown donuts now. So I want to buy a box and then drop it off at work. Be like, hey, sorry I'm not here for the next 3 days before break. Here's some donuts. And then I gotta go to a conference after that. So Verizon bloat was one thing, but JP Mobile carrier bloat is on another level. If you ever picked up a 3G Vita from Japan back in the day, you only saw a part of it. Oh man. It was actually funny. I stopped by an Apple store in Japan before I left there. Mostly just because I wanted to buy an extra set of AirTags, because I bought so much stuff that I couldn't bring it back with me, so I was gonna ship it to myself back home. So I was gonna put AirTags in each of the boxes I was shipping. So I was like, I need to buy another set. So because I had only the ones that I brought with me for my suitcases and my backpack and all that stuff. So I bought another set. So I went to an Apple store on basically the last day I was there, and earlier that week, the Apple Vision Pro had launched in Japan. So the guy I was talking to, who I guess spoke English very well. So I guess maybe he had been to the U.S. before, or maybe even lived there at one point. I don't know, but he didn't have really an accent. But yeah, he was kind of pushing the Vision Pro. I mean, hey, do you want to try a demo, or do you want to see this? I'm like, I've actually had the Vision Pro for like 4 months. And he's like, wait, what? Yeah, I was like, yeah, I bought it back home in the U.S. and I've been trying it out. And yeah, I use it for marching band, use it for work and all that stuff. So then he was asking me questions for like feedback and stuff. So It's like, oh, what are your thoughts on it, and what do you use, and are there any suggestions you have, and blah blah blah. Wrapping up H-Star 3.8 story may have obliterated the boss in one fun meteor, but hey. Well, okay, so so Destiny, you said you finished up 3.8. Doodle said they finished it in 1 hour. Is that accurate? How long did you take? For Androids, having those many chips will give app developers head scratch. Yeah, exactly. On optimization, because like you have to, again, like I said, you have to develop for the most common denominator. What's the most that you can expect 90% of your users to have? Because if you develop for any more than that, well, now you're being like, okay, we can develop for a higher standard, but now we can only, you know, accommodate 60% of Android users and things like that. So there's that trade-off. So that's why developers like developing for iPhone and iOS, because they know, okay, we can trust that 90% of users will be on the latest iOS version, and they have this feature, this software and hardware. They have this feature, this feature, this feature. But from polls now, Japanese people literally switching to Androids now, especially the gamers. I don't know. Apple's got a pretty strong hold in Japan. I mean, yeah, people might be buying Android phones, but they have a pretty strong grip on Japan, Apple. Now that I have Dolly, I can save for the hell that is 4.x. I just want to save for Cerebro. Kaizen, you got her? Yeah, like 77 guaranteed. Ever use your Vision Pro as in-flight entertainment? Yep. Yeah, on my 14-hour flight to Japan. I brought my Switch expecting to play a lot of games. Didn't do that. I mostly, let's see, what did I watch mostly? Things I had to download the episodes or movies or whatever to my Vision Pro ahead of time. I couldn't just like, I mean, I guess I could have gotten internet there, but I don't know how it would have been. Because did you guys know you can buy internet on United flights using your miles? I found that out on my flight. I was like, what? I can text. I can iMessage. But yeah, what did I watch at the time? I think Deadpool and Wolverine hadn't come out yet, so I was I think I watched Deadpool 1 and 2. And then because I hadn't seen X-Men 97 yet at the time, because I wanted to rewatch the original 90s X-Men. So I was in the middle of basically binge watching that. So I watched a bunch of episodes of the old X-Men cartoon on the flight. And it's great. It's great. Let's see. I took my time and did all the optional dialogue. 2 to 3 hours. Okay. Depending if you reduce the loot goblin and focus on story. Okay. I mean, we basically set aside the entirety of Sunday for 3.8. That side quest you guys we kind of just stumbled upon yesterday, I basically set aside all of Saturday to that. I don't know how long it's gonna take, but chat thought it was gonna be at least a couple hours. So that'll be Saturday, and then Sunday we'll do the actual 3.8 quest. Nice. Also check DMs since I got home early. I started right as the update came out. Okay, I still have to do my dailies in Sorrow.
I'd have lost myself long ago if I allowed myself to be led
I
by
should
the
probably stop
whispers
recording.
of the
We've just been
abyss.
sitting here now. We finished Durin story quest already, or third part, I should say.
Surviving is tough. Taming the beast.
I'm also laughing so hard that Samsung made fun of Apple when Apple decided to remove. No, Samsung does that all the time. It's not even just headphones. What are some of the other things they do? They do that work because, like, because here's the thing. Apple is like either of one of two mindsets. Either they're going to be the first to make an unpopular decision that they see as the future because it just makes sense. So, for example, removing headphones. Now, granted, I still think that was too soon because there's still many use cases where the headphone jack is better. But in terms of like why they did it, I get it. Phones were getting thinner and thinner at the time, and smaller. And they need more battery. And they wanted to make it more waterproof as well, so they wanted to get rid of as many ports as possible. So I get that, but at the same time, I think it was still too early. But anyway, that aside, they saw the future as moving, because again, it is an older port. So it was like designed in the 70s or something like that. And there are like newer technologies that can be better. Were they there yet? I don't think so. But especially now, they haven't put Thunderbolt in the iPhones yet, but I think once they put Thunderbolt in the iPhones, it'll be great. But anyway, I digress. Yeah, so stuff like that. Or you remember when Apple was like the first to remove CD-ROM drives from their laptops, and everyone was like, what are you gonna do without a CD-ROM? How are you gonna
Surviving's
install software and operating
the beast
systems
with
and blah blah
them
blah? And Apple, and everyone thought Apple was crazy for that. So and like now, can you even find a DVD player on a computer anymore? Stuff like that. So they make those maybe seemingly unpopular decisions, but that Apple sees as the future for computing. But they also, there's the other flip side too, where, and we talk about this, how like there's a lot of cool hardware stuff happening on the Android side of phones, right? But a lot of that is experimentation, or those companies are just trying to see like, oh yeah, we have this cool feature no one else has. But it's really kind of like an experimentation, because like if it doesn't catch on, they ditch that idea, right? With Apple, again, this is the flip side, because for some reason the two sides that I mentioned about Apple are like polar opposites. Either they're the first one to to do something or change something or get rid of something. The other side is that sometimes Apple is like the last one to do it, because they're waiting to see how everyone does their implementations first with newer technology. They see the good things about it, they see the bad things about it, and then they're like, all right, now we're gonna do it, and we're gonna do it the best. So for example, next year, iPhone Fold. Samsung's been doing folding phones for like what, 5-7 years now, maybe more. Actually, maybe 10 years. Samsung's been doing folding phones for a long time, but look at some of the issues that came out with the first folding phone, and even the years since. And only now that they've figured out how to do a folding phone without a visible crease and without like dust and debris getting stuck in between the screens and essentially scratching the screens, now we're getting an iPhone Fold next year. Yeah. Let me catch up with chats. Oh, and then another thing too, we were talking about OLED screens before. They didn't put OLED in the iPhones until they could. Remember how I said like modern OLED technology doesn't have as bad of a burn-in problem? They waited for that. Let me catch up. I was on a United flight to Japan, and the free Wi-Fi was, oh my god, it's so nice
I'd have lost
that you can
myself
buy
long
Wi-Fi
ago
without,
if I
or
allowed
with just
myself to be
miles. I was
led
like,
by the whispers of
yes,
the
please.
abyss.
I can text.
Surviving is tough.
Did I get Mighty? I'll try
Taming the beast
Dahlia.
with
If
them
I don't get Dahlia, then it's either
is
Lingsha
tougher.
or Aglaya. I would love to get Lingsha. I would love to get Fugue, but I don't have any polls, guys. But we did get Cyrene. How many more weeks of wait before Columbina? I'm sorry to have her. I'm going to share a link to you. This is a Google Calendar. I don't usually use Google. Not a Google Calendar. It's a Google Sheet. Bookmark this. Because the calendars for Hoyo, especially like Genshin and Saro and ZZZ, in terms of like when the banners are, or sorry, when the patches are, when the banners within them are, when the special programs are, and when the drip marketing is, they're like clockwork. So it's easy to predict. I've got stuff on here, like I can tell you right now, there's a patch for Genshin starting on December 15th of next year. Oh, wait, no, this is old. Wait, no, is this right? No, yeah, next year. I should probably change these numbers. December 15th, 2026 is the start of another patch. So, but to answer your question, though, Columbina is going to be on January, for those of you in the Eastern Hemisphere, January 14th. For those of you in the Western Hemisphere, January 13th. January 13th. Having 8 weeks to save will be nice. Oh yeah, for 3.8. Phones need a headphone jack again. There's definitely a use for them, but I think when the iPhone switches to Thunderbolt, because they already have the C port. Because again, they switched to, they were the first ones to put USB-C in a mass-produced computer with the MacBook Pro in 2015, and then they switched to using USB-C Thunderbolts. Actually, no, I think it was just USB-C alone in 2018 on the iPads, and then eventually they switched it to Thunderbolt. The phones don't have Thunderbolt yet, and because of that, there are some great uses for not having a headphone jack and having just the USB-C port, but there are some extreme cases, especially related to high fidelity audio, where a headphone jack is still better.
Myself to be led by the whispers of the abyss.
Surviving
Surviving is tough.
Does it say Zam?
Taming the
What's
beast
Zam?
within is tougher.
Considering Bluetooth causes migraines for some people. Yeah, I when I can, actually I do opt for wired headphones at the moment. I did get AirPods Pro 3 because they were on sale for like 20% off. So instead of the $249, I got it for $199. Yes. Need you to check DMs. Headphone jack is good. I never like the erase to make things as thin as possible. I like a little heft, and besides more room for battery and cooling architecture. Well, here's the thing though. The cool thing with the iPhones, and we were talking about like the chips in the iPhones, across both the A series chips for the phones and the M series chips for the Mac and the iPad, Apple is switching to the way they manufacture the chips. in terms of how small and how close together the transistors are, and therefore how many you can fit on there. They're switching from a 3 nanometer process to a 2 nanometer process with the M6 line, and then whatever the equivalent A series chip is in 2027. Or sorry, no, next year. Is it next year? Next year. So that's why, yeah, next year is a great year to upgrade your iPhone. I'm going to hold out one more year for the iPhone 20th anniversary. I don't think I'm going to call it iPhone 10 or 20, like the 2Xs, but 20th anniversary. So I'm going to hold out for that. But next year, they're switching to 2 nanometer process. That is going to make iPhones and Macs and iPads so much more power efficient. Like, I don't think you guys understand. So much more power efficient. So you don't, on the same size battery, you can get either way more battery life or way more power.
I'm a little out of practice.
And it
these
still
days.
runs ice cold.
Any conflicts around? I'm in the mood for some peacemaking.
I will when I'm back upstairs, Destiny. My friend told me the best upgrade to iPhone ever is switching to the Type-C port. Is Type-C really that ahead of Lightning port? So Type-C is just the shape of the port. It has nothing to do with the technology in the port itself. The actual USB-C port, the what's it called? The protocol is essentially USB 3.2. I forgot what the actual... It's USB 3.2. But the technology, so with USB 3.2, USB 3.2 is better than Lightning because Lightning is based on
When you lose your way, gaining some
essentially tech
altitude
from
brings some perspective.
well, it's basically like 12 years ago now. Now, was Lightning better than USB at the time? Yes. Okay. Because I think it was like USB 2. Was it 2. It might have been 2.0. No, I don't think it was 2.0. It was maybe 2. I can't remember. But anyway, Lightning was better at the time. Is USB 3.2, which is what the Type-C port is on the phones on the iPhone now, better than Lightning? Absolutely. But here's the thing: when the Mac switched to USB-C, it's because Apple switched to Thunderbolts, which is Intel's they used to call it LightPeak, because it's supposed to be using fiber optics, which they haven't yet. But it's way better than the USB standard, and then they use that in the iPads now. The iPhone doesn't use Thunderbolt yet, which is it's odd too because Thunderbolt is it's a protocol that Apple co-developed with Intel. Now people speculate because Apple doesn't use Intel anymore that they haven't really kind of pushed Thunderbolt, because now, especially as Thunderbolt gets better, the USB consortium also kind of follows what they do with Thunderbolt, so they kind of like mirror each other. So Thunderbolt gets better, and then USB gets better. So I think once they implement Thunderbolt into the iPhone, like all bets are off. It's gonna be amazing. But until then, it's the USB-C port in iPhone's USB 3.2. Ease of use with it not being proprietary and not shared with a variety of devices is probably the bigger plus. The problem, the only real problem right now, aside from again not being a Thunderbolt, is that a lot of USB-C accessories and cables, like again, you would think that universal ports and plugs and all that would be great, but because not a lot of them are properly labeled in terms of throughput, in terms of power, if anything, it's more confusing now for a lot of people too. A lot of USB-C cables are power only, right, for charging your device, and people are like, oh, why is this not connecting to my computer or my iPad or whatever? Because it's not designed for data. I hope they make non-folding phones. Oh no, they're absolutely going to keep making non-folding phones, or non-folding phones. So next year's lineup is most likely going to be the base model iPhone 18, the iPhone Fold, the iPhone Air, and then the iPhone 18 Pro and Pro Max. Yeah, right. Android is literally released above 60 Hz screens panels, while iPhone implemented it way later but better. Right. Yeah. And even then, only on the Pro phones. And I think only this year trickled down to the base iPhones. Crease is still visible on the new Samsung phones, though. I guess, it's gotten better. But now that Apple has figured out a way to, again, get rid of the crease, so it's not visible and you can't feel it. And, because again, another part of the folding phones, too, is when you fold them, if you have dust or debris in there,
When you lose
you're
your
gonna
way,
scratch that
gaining
phone
some
because
altitude
the
can
two
bring some
halves
perspective.
aren't like perfectly still, and they're going to kind of like move a little bit. Even if you can't really kind of discern that, it's gonna move, and that will scratch your phone. Not so sad since the next major patch on Genshin will be the last for PS4. At least they get Columbina. You did touch on something that annoyed me a ton about modern desktops and laptops. I was trying to buy a new case. Getting external drive bays is actually pretty difficult. It sucks because all my PC games are physical, and I have a DVD collection. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. But again, as the industry shifted away from optical media and more towards digital, whether it's SD cards or USB keys or like thumb drives or digital downloads, Apple kind of saw that that was kind of, because again, if you think about it too, the fact that optical drives have moving parts, that made it the most vulnerable part of the computer. If you drop that, things like optical drives, hard drives, those were the things that were going to break first. By making everything inside a laptop, like a MacBook, solid state, that's what Apple was trying to do. And they figured, since we're moving away from these optical media, even if people are still using it at the moment, it's going to keep declining and declining and declining. Now, granted, yes, there's still a use for optical media. And for those, again, they figure, okay, for those that want it and those that need it, they can buy it externally. I got my current new phone is 6nm chip, and now iPhone's... Yeah, well, iPhone's been on 3nm since... they've been on... hold on. Let me think of this. I might have the years slightly... I might be off by like a year or so. But let's see. They're going to be switching to 2nm next year. They've been on 3nm for 3 generations. So what is that? That's 2023 or 2022. And then prior to 3nm, they were at 5nm. And that probably would have been around like 2019. So yeah, the 2019 iPhone has smaller transistors than your current phone. Size isn't just battery life to me. I mentioned that the heft because it's more ergonomic to me than those ultra thin phones. True, but I mean everyone's different. That's nothing to consider. But the cool thing with the iPhone Air, it's super thin, but it's like the most durable phone ever. If you try to like handle an iPhone Air, it's like unbreakable. Innovation, just to say innovation is usually bad, and removing features also isn't innovation.
Practice these days.
To some extent, yeah. There's a trade-off. Let's put it that way. There's a trade-off. USB consortiums and naming schemes are generally... oh my god, it's awful. One thing I do like about Elgato's cables... What do I have on here? Hold on. Elgato started doing something with their cables with their products. You guys probably can't see this on the camera. Also, Charlotte, welcome in. So Elgato started doing this with all their cables on their products now. If you look here, can you guys see that there's some kind of like writing on the plug here on the cable? It says 3.2, 10 gigabits per second. So they give you like which version of USB it is, and then they tell you the throughput. Because again, it's just a USB-C plug, but they're all universal. So like it's like no one can tell the difference of any of them. So I can look at this cable and be like, oh, it's USB 3.2, and it's 10 gigabits per second. So that is so useful, and I really wish everyone would copy that. I need everyone to do that. USB cable is so confusing too because some cables allow you to charge, supercharge, or somewhere. Yeah, exactly. God. So again, the fact that it's universal, great. Except it's way more confusing for the general person. You know, and then whereas with like Thunderbolt, which again Apple co-developed with Intel, you know, it labels it on the plug as well with the Thunderbolt label, and then it sometimes will say Thunderbolt 2 or Thunderbolt 3 or Thunderbolt 4, and you know, okay, if it's Thunderbolt 1, it's 10 gigabits per second. If it's Thunderbolt 2, it's 20 gigabits per second. If it's Thunderbolt, I think Thunderbolt 3 was also 20. If it's Thunderbolt 4, 40 gigabits per second. So it's universal. Sorry, it's consistent. How's it going, Charlotte? My old phone before this had 10 nanometers because I've been using that one for literally 6 years. Yeah. And again, that's still. I'm sure it's a fantastic phone, But as far as you know, Apple switching to like 3 nanometers and then now next year being 2 nanometers, it just means way more transistors, much smaller transistors, and much closer together. So it's going to be way more powerful and more power efficient.
I'm a little out of practice these days.
iPhone Air looks cool to me, but the price, I
conflicts
don't think
around?
it's necessary for that to be $100
I'm in the
more
mood
than
for
the
some
base iPhone
peacemaking.
17. So the insides of the iPhone Air, aside from the camera, because it only has one camera on there, it doesn't have an ultra wide on there or telephoto. But because of the insides on there, it's actually a better phone than the base model. The only real compromise is the camera. So it is better than the base iPhone. Another good thing is that the phone... Wait. Is that this phone has... They announced it to get 3 major Android upgrades and 5 years of security patch. I mean, I guess that's okay.
I'd have lost myself long ago.
Yeah, most iOS devices, and that's nothing to do with iOS devices, and you always hear about people complaining like, oh, this doesn't support anything, this doesn't support anything. Well, yeah, if you've had your phone for 8 years, yeah, you might not get like all the latest updates anymore. You'll still get security updates from time to time, but yeah, if your phone's 8 years old, your iPhone, I think 8 years is plenty reasonable. EU enforcing the user replaceable batteries in the next year or two, right? I don't think they're enforcing that. I think they're still... see, I'm still hoping that hits the US, and when I plan on upgrading... Oh, that would be horrible. Again, I think having choice is good, but... so here's the thing with having user replaceable batteries. When you have a user replaceable battery, you have to basically design a housing for a removable battery. And that means things either need to open up, or now you have to have things with like screws, and that's going to take up more space. Tech tips when? You guys want me to just start a TikTok? I would pay more for a SKU without the inward-facing camera. You mean like the selfie cam, or what? Save the money and gives me back the phone real estate. Again, having choice is great. Having choice is great. But I think the majority of people still use a selfie camera. Let's see. Be honest. When phones cost like $1,500 now and they keep going up, people need to keep their phones for longer and longer. Yeah, yeah. When I switched to iPhone, I was at the iPhone 4. Well, to be fair, that was in the era of when iPhones were subsidized. So you'd get a 2-year contract, and then your iPhone would cost $200, right, or more if you wanted like a better model. So they were subsidized; they cost $200. When the subsidized plan was no longer a requirement, and you could buy your phone outright or monthly, but then you weren't tied to a contract. Well, now the phone price for me jumped to, what was it? It was like, what was the first one for me then? Might have been the iPhone 6. It was either the 6 or the 10. But anyway, yeah, the phone price jumped. I think it was around like $600 at the time, maybe $700. I might have gotten like a plus model or something like that. But it jumped in price. And then on top of that, the iPhone, like the 10th anniversary was coming out like on the next cycle. So I was like, okay, I'm going to shift, because I used to be a 2-year upgrade. So I'd upgrade from the 4 to the 5 and the 5 to the 6 Plus. No, yeah, and then the 10 would have been 2 years after that, I think, right? Or was it 3? No, that was 3. I lied. Okay, so iPhone 4, iPhone 5, iPhone 6 Plus. 2 year in between each. And then because the plans were no longer a thing and the price of the phone went up to about $600 or $700, I then shifted to a 3-year cycle. And right now, yeah, I upgraded to my 15 Pro Max after the 12, 3 years, right? But now, while next year would normally be an upgrade year for me, 3 years, and again, 2 nanometer chip and folding option. I don't know if I would have gotten the fold the first year, but folding option. So next year would have been great. Is a great upgrade year for anyone that needs to upgrade or wants to upgrade. It's a great upgrade year. I'm gonna wait a 4th year because one, iPhone 20th anniversary is, I'm sure, gonna be much more amazing and mind blowing. 2, you look at the speculation. Look at the prices now. Like the Pro phones start at like $1,000, and I usually get like the Pro Max, so that's usually like what, $1,200 now. And you look at the estimated starting price for the iPhone Fold. A lot of people are saying it could be as much as $2,500, but they're expecting that Apple will get the base price for the folding phone down to $1,999, which, thank goodness. But at the same time, are you kidding me? For a folding phone? So yes, I'm switching to a 4-year upgrade cycle at that point. Let me catch up. Right, the Air is a more simplistic version of the iPhone. Oh no. It's basically a step up from the iPhone, the base model, in every way except for the camera. Let's see, why are they charging more? Because it is a better phone. Are they of the evils of late stage capital? Nope, it's because it's a better phone. The only thing worse about it is the camera. Normally a phone of the same price range as mine only gets 1 or 2 major updates and 2 to 3 years of security patches. Tech tips channel is really going to happen. I mean, do you guys want me to start a TikTok? Keeping a phone for 6 to 8 years is necessary for some. Yeah, no. Like my coworker actually, I helped them upgrade last year to the 16. Their previous phone before that was an iPhone 6. So most people don't upgrade as anywhere near as often as I do. Some people, especially older people too, will often keep their phones for much longer. Like I know some people that also still use like an iPhone 6 or an iPhone 7. Very few use the 8 though, because the 8 came out the same year as the 10. It'd be nice if they brought back mini phones. The problem is that no one bought it, so that's why they changed. They shifted and switched to the iPhone Plus, which was like the bigger base model.
If I allowed myself to be led by the whispers of the abyss.
But I do agree that there. I know a lot of people that actually did like the iPhone Mini, and wish it came back. But unfortunately, not as many people bought it. But I do wish there was a smaller iPhone option for those that don't want even like the base model size. Fine with it taking more space, but we already went over that. Also, you say choice, but flagships don't tend to give you those options, like no inwards facing camera. Well, again, you have to think about in terms of like the percentage of people. So if they see that like 99% of people want the selfie camera, that 1%, or maybe it's bigger than that, I don't know. It's not going to justify the cost of developing another camera. If there's something where like, hey, 10% of people would use this feature, or maybe would not use this feature, then having that choice, I think that's a bit more justifiable for them. And then that way, people get choice, and then the company can then invest that money for people that will buy that phone. And you mentioned about user replaceable batteries. Again, as the iPhone shifts to 2nm chips, you're talking about again the efficiency of the transistors being smaller and closer together. That battery is going to be so much more power efficient. Like, look what happened with the M series chips on the Macs. Because the transistors are so small compared to like Intel chips, when the M series came out, and each year as the M series chips gets better, like what was an acceptable battery life for a laptop 15 years ago? 3 to 4 hours, right? Of usable time. 3 to 4 hours of usable time. Obviously, if you're putting it in sleep mode for certain times, or if you're just using it for email and browsing, obviously you can go longer. But 3 to 4 hours of like heavy use was acceptable. Look at the iPhone, or sorry, not iPhone. Look at the MacBook Pros and look at the MacBook Airs now. What are you expecting in terms of like actual usage? 24 hours, right? Or at least 20 or 21 hours. That's crazy. And imagine when they shift now from a 3nm chip to a 2nm process on the MacBooks. Like, we're gonna be, and then you look at the iPhone, which again, the iPhone tends to run a little bit more heavy more often. So again, we're probably not going to get like a 3-day battery life on the iPhone yet. But no, the battery increases, efficiency increases next year. Going to be insane. Question is, when is iPhone 9? Well, here's the thing. Next year is going to be iPhone 18. The year after that is the 20th anniversary. Are they going to call it the iPhone 20? You know why they had to skip? Because they wanted the 10 and the 20 to line up with the anniversary, right? But to make things simple, but for the first 10 years, all the S phones in between, that screwed it up. So they went from the 8 to the 10. Oh, actually, no, they went from the 7 to the following year, the 8 and the 10. So if they didn't do the 8, they just went to the 10, they would have skipped from 7 to 10. The reason why they're skipping from 18 to 20, or most likely going to skip from 18 to 20, is because of that. Do you guys remember that after the 10, they released the 10s? And I'm like, no, you're going to have the same problem in 10 years now. So it's because of the 10s. Also agree with you. My cousin, when he upgrades from 7 to 10 in the year, when the 10 is released, he held it the longest till not supported anymore. Yeah, again, because well, most people will not need to upgrade every 2 or 3 or 4 years. The majority of my coworkers, probably closer to like 6 years. It's the EU policy stating that the user replaceable battery must be by 2027. I guess we'll be seeing what those look like next year unless lobbying works and they reverse course. Yeah, that's... I don't think that's going to be that's not going to go through, at least not as a requirement. Or there are going to be ways to work around that, like exceptions.
Long ago, if I allowed myself
like
to
whether
be
that's
led
just
by
like
the
a
whispers of the
MagSafe battery or
abyss.
something, yeah.
Surviving is tough.
I think he's also aiming for next year's iPhone.
It's tougher.
He's holding it. He's holding on to the 14 right now. Again, next year is going to be a great year to upgrade. Again, 2nm process, folding option. What was the camera? There was a camera upgrade. I can't remember what it was. But anyway, next year's a fantastic year to upgrade if you need to upgrade or want to upgrade. But me, I'm gonna wait one more year if I can. So 4 years total. For the 20th anniversary phone, because when you think about the jump from the 7 to the 10, the iPhone 10, and how they wanted to make that kind of like revolutionary, they're gonna do the same thing. And from what the reports that I'm hearing, it's gonna be the first like no bezel phone, like legit edge to edge on all sides. Now I am hearing one drawback to that, like the whole like, because it was Johnny Ive that like kind of imagined a future iPhone where it's just essentially a slab of glass. And even Johnny Ive, even though Johnny Ive is no longer at Apple, I think Apple, like everyone's hearing that Apple is still kind of working towards that goal, where it's just like a slab of glass. So no bezel, edge to edge, and then no. Here's the thing: no camera or dynamic island cutout.
When you lose your way,
so there's still a
gaining
front-facing
some
camera.
altitude can bring
Now
some
here's the thing I'm hearing though: the technology to put the camera, not just Face ID, because they can already do Face ID under the camera or under the screen, where only the camera itself is still a hole punch. So that's what I'm hearing for next year's phone, the iPhone 18 line and the 18 Fold and the 18 Pro and Pro Max. There'll still be a camera cutout, but the dynamic island, like it will be just the camera cutout. It's a hole punch, and then the rest of Face ID is now under the screen. And what I'm hearing though is that the year after, they're going to remove that hole punch completely, and the camera will also be under the screen, so that you legit have an all screen phone. No bezel, no camera cutout. The trade-off I'm hearing that has me a little bit worried is that the technology, because Face ID can be put under the screen, no problem.
I'm a little out of practice
Putting the
these
camera
days.
under the screen, the technology is not quite there yet, so the selfie camera quality is not going to be as good as it probably could be if there was still a camera punch out. Now that being said, I'm hearing the selfie camera quality will still be better than what is on the current phones, so that's good. But that is the trade-off that I'm hearing. It could have been even better, but because they want to put it under the screen so that there's no interruption on the screen, that's the sacrifice they're making, that they're willing to make. Where was I here? To Kaizen's point, iPhones, how behind am I? Not that far behind. Since the 12 have only had smaller, more iterative changes from model to model. I agree with that. Between my 13 and 14, for example, what are the real differences? Dynamic island and eSIM in place of physical SIM. The camera upgrades every year are usually pretty good too. But as far as hardware goes, yeah. When did they switch to 3nm again? It was either the 14. No, I think it was the 14. The 14 might have been the first phone that had a 3nm process for the chip. So as far as like power and power efficiency and battery life, that might have been one more big jump from 13 to 14. But yes, the biggest jump is probably so when people that I knew at the time when the 14 came out, they were like, oh, I'm going to upgrade to 14. Is this a good one? And I was telling people like, if you can hold out one more year for the switch to USB, hold out one more year, because I was telling people, if you get a 14 when it was new, right? If you get a 14 when it's new, which has the lightning port, and then they switched to USB-C in the 15, which we knew was going to happen. Now you're going to deal with a lot of people putting out more USB-C accessories and products, and now you're going to have to get a dongle or an adapter for your 14 for the rest of the time you're using it. If you wait one more year and you get to USB-C, you're going to have a lot more things that you can use during the life of its phone without having to use an adapter or dongle. Weird that the mini iPhone couldn't find success when the SEs were pretty popular. Look at the market though, right? iPhone has, aside from the iPhone SE, Apple's really kind of catered to that higher market, right? Whereas Samsung in general, they actually reach a wide range in terms of like, you know, their market price or the product prices and product what's the word I'm thinking of? I'm blanking on the word, but like they have products in different price ranges. Even the Galaxy SE though, people can assume that when you're buying like an Android phone or a Galaxy phone, yeah, they have their high-end flagships too, but like they can be like, oh, it's Samsung, I can afford this, right? So battery life isn't necessarily the main point behind wanting them to be replaceable. Okay, so then what's your main argument? Speaking of battery, is it really true that never let your battery go to 0? I mean, if it goes there from time to time, it's not the end of the world. But if you can, think of it like, think of your battery like a water balloon, right? If you push it to its limits, you're essentially keeping the latex of the balloon stretched. So you're stressing the battery. Okay, so generally speaking, to extend the life of the battery. It's not as big a difference as they probably make it out to seem, but if you keep your battery often in the 0 to 20 range, or like the 80 to, or maybe even like 90 to 100 range, you're stressing the battery. Now that being said, most smartphone batteries are smart enough now, even the Switch 2 battery is smart enough now, so that they actually offer an option where you can like say only charge it up to 80% or only charge it up to 90%, and then warn me if it gets down below 20% or whatever, and offer to switch to like a low power mode. And you want to actually charge it to 100 and want to drain it to 0 on rare occasion, because it basically helps the battery like kind of what's the word I'm looking for? I'm blank. It's on the tip of my tongue. You want to... Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue when you can calibrate. Thank you. Sorry, no, I'm thanking myself. When you can calibrate basically how much the battery capacity is and still is over time, because it does degrade over time naturally, right? But if you're taking care of your battery, like not pushing it to 100% all the time, not like letting it go below 20% all the time, and your charging practices are of a certain way, you can still have like 100% or close to 100% of your battery life even after 2 years of constant use. Whereas most people after 2 years of constant use will probably see battery health about 80% of its original full charge. Right? So if you are taking care of your battery, yes, it is best to keep it like in that 20 to 80 range and not go to the extremes. But again, if it goes there from time to time, it's not the end of the world, and it's not going to be as dramatic a change or a hit as the companies make it out to be. But it does help to keep it in that 20 to 80% range. Got robbed with Windows 9 and iPhone 9. Hearing chatter for years about a portless iPhone. I don't know when that'll happen, but I may have gone to my grave by then. I would expect that within the decade. Yeah. I do think they'll still have to have some way of like a physical contact with the phone. But you know how on the iPad, let me see if I can show you guys. So on the iPad, okay, they already have this thing where when you stick your iPad to a case, you see these like three dots here at the bottom. It's hard to see in the light. There's these 3 dots here, right? Those are metal contact points, and then there's like contact points in the case. So when you put it into that case, it can transmit data through that. I still think they're going to need some kind of physical contact point on the phones for higher speed data transfers and things like that. But yes, they are moving towards a portless phone. And part of the reason too, like remember, Apple was one of the first ones to implement USB-C on both Mac and on computers, as well as tablets like iPad, in 2015 and 2018 respectively, and like exclusively shifting that. I remember when they released a USB and Thunderbolts or Mac, and they were like, "Yep, we're just gonna get rid of all the USB-A as well." And people were like, "Wait, what are you doing? What is this madness?" So kind of like the same thing, like the whole like, "Oh wait, we're gonna do this first," like with the headphone jack and the CD-ROM drive. But you think about how long it took them to do it on the phones, and I'm sure on the one hand they're like, "Oh yeah, let's get our like flagship Thunderbolt ports on the iPhones as soon as possible." I'm sure there was one camp that wanted that, but there were others that were thinking of the trade-off too. Think about how big the accessory market is for the iPhone, right? Because they obviously iPhones have a much larger share of the phone market than say the Macs have of the consumer computer market. So they were thinking about, okay, think about all the accessories that were basically going to be essentially declaring obsolete, or the days are numbered, and how many years it would take for them to be like, okay, now we can release a truly portless phone. I think those two things were at odds, and they were basically holding out because they were trying to see like, okay, well, we could switch to Thunderbolt and USB-C, or we can just jump from Lightning to portless and just basically just skip that skip transitioning and then transitioning again like 2 or 3 years later. So I think that's what they were holding out for. But the EU then kind of forced their hand by stifling innovation a bit, and they basically said, all right, you need to release a USB phone even if you're gonna have workarounds, things like MagSafe and stuff like that, where we want to basically make it better for the environment by not having people have to have Lightning cable and USB-C cable and yada yada yada. So that's, yeah, I think that's why they made the shifts as late as they did, because they were holding out to just basically skip USB. Where was I here? I know I'm behind on chat. I also wanted to I wanted to end stream like an hour and a half ago. Another thing I noticed is that there's a sudden price jump for SD cards for phones, SSD for PC storage because of AI programs. Phones with 128 gigs will struggle. I think it's mostly just like, I don't know if that's necessarily because of AI. I think flash storage, which is what SSD and SD cards and stuff like that, they use that technology. Flash storage is just faster. That's why. So like things like AI and other things as well are just going to need faster storage. Like look at the Switch 2. They're like, okay, you need a micro SD express card because only those are fast enough for the large amount of data that you're basically putting onto the Switch 2. So they just want faster. Usually wait until the phone I have is basically falling apart, or as the cases were broken before I decide to change to the latest model. So I went from iPhone 8 to iPhone 13. So for me, it's partly because one, initially I upgraded when the phones were subsidized with the contract, right? So that was 2-year cycles. When the phones weren't subsidized anymore and the prices went up, I switched to 3 years. And I still wanted to have a good phone because I still use the phone for like a lot of creative things, content creation, as well as for work, and a lot of that has to do with the camera quality. And because of that, that's why I'm still getting like the high-end phone when I buy a phone. It's largely because of the camera. Like when I first saw the camera quality on like the iPhone 12 Pro Max and then the iPhone 15 Pro Max, and I showed it to my coworkers, they're like, "This is better than ESPN on my big screen TV." Portless would be a shame. USB-C is nice. Not just because charging is more efficient than powerless. Yeah, but the efficiency for wireless is getting better. So again, they're not going to go to portless like today, but I think they're working towards it. But you can, I'm guessing that's hook up a SSD to it, or you can hook it up to use it as a computer. But Samsung has, is it DeX? I think Google has their own deal too. So here's the thing, and again, they're not going to shift to a portless phone now, but they are working toward like that is the ultimate goal. Because if you can, if you can look at the benefits versus the downsides of portless and wired, and you can get rid of the downsides to portless or what portless currently would be, then there's no reason not to go to portless, right? If the charging efficiency gets better in wireless charging, if the data transfer the throughput on data transfer gets faster. You know, those kinds of things. If you can remove those obstacles, then there's less reason not to go portless, especially for the majority of people. Now, yes, are there use cases where having a physical connection is going to be better and faster? Absolutely. And again, that's why I think like something like they have on the iPad, where they already have those 3 metal connectors on the back that most people wouldn't even notice unless you pointed it out. I think that something like that would be a good compromise.
Any conflicts around? I'm in the mood for some
Let's see. Make smartphones and other consumer electronics that are completely repairable by the user. Fairphone. People aren't aware that your phone does like to... Wait. Aren't aware that your phone does like to use about, what, 0% and 100% are. They've done things on their end. Let my settings in my new phones only charge at 90 because 80% isn't enough for me. But not worry about my phone below 25%. So for me, I generally only let my phone charge up to 80. On days when I know I'm going to be out and about like all day, and I might not have the opportunity to charge as often, the iPhone has a thing where if you manually put it or allow it to go back up to 100%, you can be like, yes, let me go to 100% today, but then automatically shift it back down to 80 tomorrow. So that's what I do if I have like an all-day marching band competition or something. Fairphone's a little older, but if you're interested in complete user control, there's something newer called the Jolta phone. 1.5 hour of tech tips. I love it. So she really shouldn't have done what the disc-based consoles do. Let you, or really should have done. Let you install the system and check in if the media is inserted.
Whispers of the abyss. Surviving is tough. Taming the beast within is tougher.
I think that kind of is what they're already doing, and people are complaining about it. So that's what the key cards essentially are doing. You install the game by downloading it from the web, and then as long as you have the key cartridge inserted, you can play it. So that's why you're not playing it off the game card itself, because again, the speeds of the game cards and the amount of data they're transferring back and forth, even, it's not fast enough. So having it on the internal storage or on the micro SD express card is the only way to guarantee that the transfer is going fast enough, especially for these like 4K textures and everything like that. But yeah, I get what you're saying. What I wish they would have done, cause it's kind of build off your points, because like yeah, having it internally already kind of eliminates that obstacle of having things be too slow. What I wish they would have done is that obviously people have non-express cards, right? Well, find a way to make it clear to people when they're playing, like, okay, you put in a non-express card, but it's only going to work for either Switch 1 games or like lower end Switch 2 games. But like you got to make it clear to consumers, by like, okay, you're playing a AAA Switch 2 game that needs an express card, so that way they can then still use the regular micro SD cards, and not necessarily have to worry about getting an express card until they really need it. Companies can trust PC gamers with making sure their computers are up to spec, right? That's not a thing that console makers typically do, but I think with the growing number of people that can at least be responsible enough to know, okay, my computer needs this and my computer needs that, to be like, okay, here's the SD card I need for this game,
When you lose your way,
storage types. Yes, it's also changing my old phone is using an old storage tech called eMMC, and it's slow, and my new phone is using UFS, which is twice as fast. Yeah. The Lion Sharky, welcome in. How's it going? How have you been? Welcome. We were essentially done playing Genshin like an hour and a half ago, but we're just kind of talking now. I do have to probably end soon though, because I do have to wake up in like 6 hours. On an unrelated note, it turns out that the season 6 of Blinders is which is the most recent of the series, is its last. Okay, because I think you said they were working on a potential 7th. So at the end of the franchise, as I said, there's going to be a movie, right? Yeah. So no 7th then. They confirmed. Your phone lies about the battery percentage to help keep your phone under the best practices without being all the way filled up or drained. Autocorrect. Oh, okay. No worries. That happens.
I'm in the mood for some
No, but yeah, and even with that in mind, still though, it is good that they are kind of teaching consumers that, like, yeah, you don't want your phone to be like, you don't want to stress your phone battery by putting it close to 100% or draining it all the way down to 100%. So like at 20%, most iPhones will prompt the user like, hey, your phone's at 20%. Would you like to switch to low power mode? You know, as opposed to just letting it continue to drain. Same thing with 100%. They offer an option now where, you know, hey, don't charge your phone above 80 or 90. Actually, you can set it between 80 or 85, 90, 95, or 100. Yeah, no 7th. But the story will continue on. Okay, that's good. It's like Smallville Season 11 is a comic. Having breakfast. Your stream is a good company. Conversation is interesting. Oh, thank you. Again, I'm sorry that we're probably going to be ending soon. I was going to end like an hour and a half ago, but this is a good conversation. My god, the way episode 4 of the season 5 ended. How many episodes are there typically per season? I think the Switch 2 by default has the cap for 90. Yes. Yeah. I know on the iPhone, it's you can choose 80, 85, 90, 95, or 100. But yeah, on the Switch 2, you can either toggle to 90 or 100. So, but it's good that they're offering it as an option in the first place, right? Because I'll tell you right now, my Switch 1 battery, shot. It's the launch unit too, so it's not even the one with the upgraded battery. It's a launch unit, so that battery is shot. And the battery started bulging a while back too. I haven't used it since then. I've been meaning to send it to Nintendo or my friend at Nintendo because I don't want to pay for the replacement. 6 per season, so 6 times 6. Gotcha. Okay. Well, yeah, episode 4 in a season, that would probably be a pretty big one. Yeah, because they're setting up the ending. Last question on my end. Why do people wait for the flagship phones to go 2 to 3 years older to buy for cheap price rather than buying mid-range phones of the same prices of those flagship phones? I think it has to do more so with like the quality of the phone, because even though yes, it's older technology, it's cheaper because it's older. It's not cheaper because the quality of the components are lesser. Does that make sense? And you know it's still going to support like the latest operating system, especially with iPhones. You know it's going to support the latest operating systems, and you know like all your software is still going to work with it, and you know it's still going to work within your ecosystem. So I think mid-range versus older flagship by like 1 or 2 years. I think it's more so the quality of the components. Is flagship of 2 to 3 years old still that better than today's mid-range? I don't do a lot of Android, where there probably is more of a mid-range than iPhone, where you only just have the iPhone SE. But yes, I think so. Samsung has at least 80%, but I'm a bad user. My poor phone battery is still healthy for whatever reason. I won the lottery only to proceed to abuse it. Hey, if you got a battery that's lasting, that's a good thing. Build materials tend to be different too for flagships. Yeah. So the quality of the components. Yeah. Let's say how that episode ended, but it's violent as the whole of the series is, and saying anything more than what I said above would spoil. Yeah. What do you watch it on, in case anyone is interested?
When you lose your way,
service?
Gaining some altitude can bring some perspective.
All right, but I am gonna start wrapping up here. I still have to do my Star Rail dailies because it was in maintenance when I was checking earlier, so. Still have to do that. I can do that off stream though. But we got our Cyrene yesterday. Yes. On like one poll yesterday. Let's see. Thanks to me. That's all my questions for today's tech tips. I mean, if you guys want, I have in the past thought about like starting like either an Instagram, like a separate Instagram or a separate TikTok for this kind of stuff. Because I'm technically my school's tech lead, even though my primary job is the music teacher. But like, as is the case, usually most music teachers are kind of the more tech savvy of the staff in the school, just because of all the equipment we typically end up using. But yeah, so I'm the tech lead, and part of my role is like kind of like helping teachers navigate using technology, because a lot of them are not great with it. So I was like, oh, maybe I should start like either a blog or maybe a TikTok that teachers can go to for like tips if they're looking for it, because a lot of teachers don't like actively reach out, but others might be like, oh, it'd be nice to know some like tips and tricks from time to time. Like none of them are like heavy users like me that want like the cutting edge kind of like strategies and stuff like that. But like just fun tips like did you guys like, hey, I taught one other teacher like, hey, if you're in your mail app and you want to like select multiple emails to delete, 2-finger swipe, that selects them automatically. And she was like, wait, what? I could do that? And they were just like mind blown. I'm like, yeah, 2-finger swipe. Thanks for keeping me company after work. If you get the express in, want me to send over info? Yeah, I'll let you know. I think we might be running into issues. I think GameStop might have been canceling orders, but I'll let you guys know. It's a Netflix original. Okay, so Netflix. You can also buy individual seasons and episodes on Prime Video, though. Okay, that's good. There may be or may not be extra legal options. Oh, yeah. I wish... Guys, so I don't have Netflix. I really wish they would be more open to releasing things on, like, physical. Because, like, if I don't have Netflix, I would like to buy a Blu-ray or even just a digital copy. Buy just a digital copy somewhere of K-Pop Demon Hunters. Well, about to fight Linus Tech Tips. Not gonna go that far. So no to Christian's intro to home labbing guide. What? You know what I want to do? I want to actually. Well, first off, I need to move to a bigger place because I'm running out of space, guys. All these boxes behind me. But if I ever buy a home, like an actual house, I would like to kind of like, you know how you can buy a house that's like new, like or like going to be built. Like you buy it and then they build it for you. I would like to get a house that I can plan as like a smart home from the get-go. Netflix shut down their legacy DVD rental. I'm not talking about DVD rentals. I mean like a physical release. So like Disney Plus, right? So Disney Plus is a streaming service. Disney is a streaming first service, but because they have a lot of original series and they know not everyone's going to subscribe to Disney Plus, they've released physical copies of things like The Mandalorian, of what are some of the shows? WandaVision, you know, Loki,
When you
Hawkeye.
lose your way,
You know,
gaining some
they
altitude
release
can bring some
physical
perspective.
Blu-rays, like the season sets of some of their original shows. I would love if I could buy a physical copy of K-Pop Demon Hunters, but Netflix is almost certainly never going to do that. Time for me to retire for the evening. All right, have it going, Charlotte. Thanks for hanging out. All Netflix tends to remove old shows or movies to their library. Yeah, at least their licensed shows, not their originals, unless they're trying to save on taxes. Because you can actually, like Disney Plus, actually they removed a show that I really liked at the time. It was The World According to Jeff Goldblum, but they removed it because I guess it was like one of their lowest rated shows, and they were able to save on taxes by removing it from their service. But now it's not available anymore because it's not available physically. So I hate that.
I'm in the mood for some peacemaking.
Starter homes, or you mean smart homes? Oh, you mean starter homes? Exist for ads. They're a thing of the past year. Starter homes? No, I don't think so. Not in like this area. Maybe in New Lenox. I know. I think in New Lenox, yeah. That's why I love having physical discs of shows and streaming platforms remove old shows. I mean, yeah. I think like your bigger budget, like your AAA shows, especially if it's original to that service, like if it's a Disney Plus original or if it's a Netflix original, I think those are safer to stay on the service for as long as possible. But I mean, if I ever stop subscribing to like Disney Plus, the fact that I can still watch Hawkeye or Loki, you know, that great. But yeah, the fact that I can't watch K-Pop Demon Hunters whenever I want is kind of upsetting. It's been upsetting for the past half year, guys. Like I only got to watch it when I was house sitting for my parents, and then when they were traveling overseas, and then when I went to see it in theaters for the sing-alongs. Both of them. Because I love that movie. But all right, guys, it is actually past midnight, and I am waking up in like 6 hours. So I'm gonna start wrapping up here. Let's see where can raid you. If you guys want more tech talks, we can do that in the future. Just we gotta finish up for tonight. Where should we send you? Alright, we got someone on Starro. We got Sushi's doing a watch party. And then that's probably where Kaizen is. We got a Veil doing Fire Emblem 3 Houses. Mario's doing Radiant Dawn. Bum, ba-da-da-dum. Set your VHS to record while you stream it. I actually, let's see, I probably still have a VCR. Thanks for tech tips. Yeah, if you guys can stick around, we're gonna raid someone. I just gotta figure out who. But yeah, I have I should have a VCR player somewhere.
I'd have lost myself
Because I got
long
it
ago
so that I
if
could.
I allowed
what was
myself to be led by the whispers of the abyss.
It was so I could
Surviving is
take old
tough.
VHS
Taming
tapes
the beast within
that were like
is
you know like
tougher.
home videos, but they were like just recorded from like band camp when I was like a teenager or whatever. I could record or take VHS tapes and convert them to DVD. So it's one of those that has both a DVD like read write and then it has a VHS a VCR. So I should have one. You know what I need to buy though? Laserdisc player so I can watch those Fire Emblem Laserdiscs. All right, chat. Where are we sending you? How many people do we have in the chat? We're gonna send you to Suzushi because I'm lazy.
When you lose your way,
And
gaining some altitude can bring some
okay,
perspective.
digitizing analog media can be an ordeal. Yeah, you know what? Okay, so the ones that are the hardest for me, you remember high 8 tapes, like the smaller tapes from like the handheld camcorders. So I have a bunch of high 8 tapes from a coworker of mine, from old band performances like around the turn of the century. So they were on high 8 tapes. So then I have a camcorder, a high 8 camcorder that are, it's like my parents' old camcorder, so that I can put the tape in there, and then I have to plug that using, I can't remember what kind of is FireWire. Oh my god, it's a FireWire port into, I can't even do it on my current computer because I don't have the right cable for that. So I have to put it into my old Mac Mini, not even my newer Mac Mini. I don't have the newer one right now anyway. I got rid of that, but I kept my old Mac Mini because it has a FireWire port. So then so again, high 8 tape to high 8 tape camcorder to a FireWire cable to my 2011 Mac Mini, so that I can record it into like iMovie and then convert it into the DV format, .dv, digital video. And then from there, I can use something like compressor to convert it into no chain of adapters. I think the fact that I have to use an older computer and a high 8 camcorder and a FireWire cable, I think that's bad enough. Because
Any conflicts around?
yeah,
I'm
if I
in the
could
mood for some
get,
peacemaking.
I guess I could look for a fire. The thing is, the camera, the Sony camera, it's FireWire, but it uses a different name. It's like a Sony name for it. But if I could find a FireWire to Thunderbolt adapter, that would be ideal because I can do it on my current computer. But right, we can talk more about that some other time. Let's wrap up. We gotta go. It's past midnight. But yeah, when you mentioned that the digitizing old media, that just reminded me of that whole process I have. But yeah, that's the only reason I've held on to my 2011 Mac Mini. Because when the M1 Mac Mini first came out, I bought that, but I've since traded that in. But I still have the 2011 Mac Mini for FireWire specifically. It's like, oh my god, why taking up space? Because they're so much bigger than the current Mac Minis. But anyway, all right, guys. If you're subbed, copy the High Papayas. If you're not subbed but have channel points, redeem first for the Hildebonk emote if you can, and then you can use the old sub raid command. And then if you're not subbed and don't have channel points, you can use the regular raid command. We're gonna raid over to Suzushi, who we raided yesterday, I think. And then we're gonna go and here, follow on social media, join the Discord. There we go. Oh, not that one, Joseph. Redeem for the Hilda Bonk emotes, because that one you can then use anywhere on Twitch. So if you guys have channel points, Hilda Bonk, that's the one where she's like swinging Freikugel. Or you can use the regular raid command like that, like Kate Gaming has. All right, you guys have a good one. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I should be on at a relatively normal time, but again, it's the first day of our my conference, so I might be like super tired. Who knows? I don't know. But I will see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow we're Pokemoning. Yeah, we're gonna start going to, for rank A in Pokemon Legends ZA. You guys have a good one. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Bye.
When you lose your way, Gaining some altitude can bring some perspective.